Game time on your view brings us to week 3 of the high school football season. The game of the week also brings us to Siemens Stadium, home of the Central Eagles. Tonight, a good one. It's the backyard brawl. Number 6, Omaha Central 2-0. Number 5, Omaha North. The Vikings are 1-1. Good evening, everybody. Beautiful night for football, along with my partner, Monty Kronstenstein. I'm Gary Sharp. Backyard brawl. That's really all you need to say, Monty. But we've seen over the last couple of years, it seems like we are here every year to broadcast this game. The emotions tend to take a toll, and whoever can control their emotions usually come out on top.
Absolutely, Sharpie. This is one of those games where these teams know each other, the coaches know each other, very emotional, a lot of great athletes, but you have to be disciplined, and the team that makes the fewest mistakes is going to have a huge advantage tonight. North
hasn't lost to Central in a decade. It's been closer of late, but one thing that has helped North the last couple of years is the talented running back, Jerron Cannon.
Jerron Cannon is Larry Martin's type of running back. He's tough, he's hard-nosed, great balance, some speed. He's got a little thunder. Don't go to the kitchen, because when he carries the ball, he can take it a long ways in a short amount of time.
For Omaha Central, last year was the first time they made the playoffs in nearly a decade. And if they're to get back again this year, it's going to be on the heels of a 5-star safety who's headed to Nebraska in the class of 2027, Torrey Pittman III.
Yeah, Torrey Pittman is one of the best in the entire country. And he's one of those guys you want to be around the ball as much as possible if you're a Central coach. And also, you want him to have the ball as many times as possible as well. He is a tremendous player, going to be fun to watch tonight.
It's not just Pittsburgh and West Virginia. It's right here in downtown Omaha. The battle of the backyard. It is Omaha Central and Omaha North. Kickoff is coming up next.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, you may face many hard questions. What will tomorrow bring? Which firm should I choose to represent me and my family? We've become the largest injury firm in the world because we've won a lot. Our firm has recovered billions and billions and billions. Over 30% of our new clients are referred by former clients. That says it all. Our results and client satisfaction, that's how we became the largest injury firm in the world. When you call Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm, your very own army springs into action immediately to fight to get you the best result as quickly and easily as possible. If you or anyone in your family has been injured in a car accident, call us now, as the time to file a claim may be limited. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Call 800-589-0055. That's 800-589-0055.
Attention timeshare owners. This is an urgent consumer alert from the Timeshare Exit Hotline, a national company specializing in helping consumers legally get out of their expensive timeshare contracts. We're offering you a way to legally get rid of your timeshare. So if you're fed up with the maintenance fees that keep on coming and want to learn if you can terminate your timeshare legally and permanently, call today. Call the number on your screen today. It's a free call.
Game time on Your View is brought to you by the University of Nebraska at Omaha. At UNO, you're not just on campus, you're in a city full of opportunity. Visit unomaha.edu to explore. And Golf USA, as golf as it gets. And by Woodhouse, a partner in your everyday since 1975. Long live summer. It is a warm Friday night for week number 3 at Siemens Stadium in downtown Omaha. The best views of anywhere in the state of Nebraska when it comes to a high school stadium right here on this famous campus. And you know this is a big game. It's battle for supremacy in the Omaha Public Schools. The stands are packed. We have done this game numerous years. It is always exciting. And as we were talking about, Monty, in the open, we're going to see a lot of flags in this game because there's a lot of emotions, because a lot of these kids on both sidelines have grew up playing with each other or against each other. So whoever can contain those emotions has a chance of getting out of here. North has won this game, and they didn't play between 18 and 20, and then both schools asked for this rivalry to be back on the schedule. But North has not lost to Central since 2015.
You know, long-standing tradition of athletic greatness between these two schools. A tremendous amount of athletes, like we said in the pregame. But to your point, as a coach, you want to try to calm those emotions down and focus on discipline, your assignment, and doing things the right way. It's going to be a very interesting game. The crowd is electric. Great vibe down there in pregame, wasn't it?
It absolutely was. North won the toss. They deferred, so they'll kick off. Micah Valentine will kick off. Special teams also are very something to watch in this game. Yasir Grigsby, yes, from the Central Grigsby's, is back deep. As we are set to go with all of you, it's game time on Your View, and a short kickoff by Valentine. Will be returned from the 28-yard line and pushed back as he got to the 35. Robert McDonald, the junior, was stopped at the 33-yard line, and that's where we start, and we get a look at multi-year starter B.J. Newsome, now in his 4th year as the starting quarterback for Central. He has passed for over 4,000 yards in his career, currently 6th in Class A through the first 2 weeks. 6-foot senior. He is a dual threat quarterback, and he's got plenty of weapons that we will tell you about as we go along tonight. Again, a very humid night here on the 12th of September in downtown Omaha. Omaha Central 2-0, ranked number 6, and they start on the ground with Haney. Kalon Haney, who has a Nebraska offer, a Cincinnati offer, gains a couple of yards as we take a look at the starting lineups for Omaha Central. The key players tonight is brought to you by Golf USA, as golf as it gets. Yasir Grigsby, Torrey Pittman III, we documented in the open. B.J. Newsome at quarterback, Haney, who just carried the ball, and then Caprice Keith, who played the last 3 years at Bellevue West. Of course, his father, one of the best players in the Metro when he was prepping for Omaha Benson Kenton. Caprice headed to Iowa State. He is also a threat on this offense, and he's in motion at the bottom of your screen. Newsome on second down is pressured out of the pocket, and he's going to go down.
You saw some excellent discipline by Omaha North staying in their passing lanes, because once there's initial pressure, he was looking to scramble, and a very nice job of staying in the lanes and keeping it contained. Now it's going to be a big 3rd down and 11 for the Eagles.
James Harrington and Darian Jones, the 4-star safety who's headed to Iowa in the class of 26, they come up with the sack, and now it'll be 3rd down and 10. That was a loss of 2. Central won in the last seconds opening week at Bellevue West last week. They won at Omaha South 63-0. Newsome on 3rd down and 10. Looks at a 5-man front. Snap back to him in an empty backfield. Steps up, throws deep down the field. And for Pittman, and it is incomplete. Backpedaling. Went into the air to try and pull it down, but could not hold on. And Central goes 3 and out. And Newsome, Monty, lucky to get that ball away. He got hit immediately as he threw it.
Yeah, withstood the pressure and put the ball exactly where only one guy can get it. You can see that Pittman went up for it. Probably would like to have that one back. He's the kind of player that makes that play more often than not.
Corday Richardson with a nice pass breakup. And Central will have to punt the football away. Let's get a look into downtown Omaha. This historical high school in downtown Omaha.
Beautiful view right there.
So the punt off the right foot of Jarnell Jackson. It'll be returned by Jones from the 34-yard line. Makes a cut. Back upfield, out near midfield. And he goes down to the 49-yard line. There is a flag down. And be prepared, everybody. I've been doing this game for 4 years straight, and we have a multitude of penalties. And if you have a bingo card, you're going to get all kinds of infractions. Our referee tonight is a veteran referee here in the Metro, Jim Coleman. And on the punt, the flag came out.
Unfortunately for Omaha North, you just have a little bit of, again, extracurricular activity after the whistle. A little bit of a push, a shove, guy goes down, and that's going to cost you 15 yards. Pretty good punt there, but the gunner also went down over on the left-hand side, so there was room to run for Jones. And, again, he's one of those guys, one of about the 8 guys on this field that can take it to the house if he gets some time and some space.
Jones already this season has had big returns. Last year, he returned a punt, returned a kick. So Jim Pullman, our referee, with the signal. And you can look at Todd O'Neill, the offensive coordinator for Omaha North, as he sends in the quarterback, Elijah Cannon. So Cannon, a senior, new quarterback. Mikey Gow was the quarterback last year for North. His eligibility expired, so this is a brand new quarterback. The senior, 7 of 14 throwing the ball, 79 yards this year. But they will run the football. That's been a staple of Larry Martin now in 26 years of the head Viking. Ron Cannon in the backfield. So after the 15-yard penalty. It actually turns out to be 19 yards in penalties because they were going to have it at the 49 after the good return by Darian Jones, the future Hawkeye. The ball is back now on the 30-yard line here in the nice measuring stick game. It is not a district game, but, boy, you look down the road as this is game 3 of 9. This game usually has some bearing on your point total and your playoff seeding. The opening possession for the Vikings, who are 1-1. Lost to Westside, won last week against Papio South. A little misdirection, and Cannon carries the ball out to about the 34-yard line.
Omaha North staple there. Run that power, pulling 2 guys, and got a nice surge from that offensive line. As many athletes as we have on the field, this game really is probably going to be one like most games up front.
Starting offense for North, brought to you by Golf USA, as golf as it gets. There's Jermaine Dortch. Get a quick look at Darian Jones. And now it'll be 2nd down and 6 after Cannon picked up 4. Ron Cannon, he's a 3rd-year starter headed to Northwest Missouri State. He's in the backfield with Cannon. No relation, hands it off. Elijah to Jaron, and he is out to the 43. And that is going to be a first down. And that is the lineup. Now, one to watch, Barrett Push is a sophomore. Last year, that offensive line had Tyson Terry, 3-time All-Stater in football, 4-time state champion in wrestling. He's now at Nebraska. So they've had to kind of reconfigure that offensive line. But there are weapons. Jones is a good ball catcher, Brown as well. And then Cannon, who they'll rely on heavily. And with that carry, he's got the first down. Opening possession for the Vikings. They forced a 3-and-out for Central. Cannon, quick drop. Now bounces around, looking out of the pocket, downfield. He's got room to run, and now he's on the run, and he slides down to the 49. He took a big hit, and that is a flag. He took a hit up near the head, as coming in to try and stop him was Aubrey Ross Jr.
We're going to see, I think we're going to see a replay here where, I don't know if it's necessarily a face mask, but he was tackled by the headgear toward the back, and a guy from the sideline went ahead and called that. You see him scrambling, losing outside containment here.
Yeah, he went with a shot to the head, and that is a 15-yard penalty. So that is already the 2nd penalty. As you get a look at Terrence Mackey, who is rebuilding the Central football program now in his 3rd year. Last year was the first time that Central had gone to the playoffs since 2015. They went 6-4, lost here at home to Papillion La Vista, but they started 2-3. Then they won 4 in a row. Since he has come back to his alma mater from Central. 4-5, 6-4. Now they're off to a 2-0 start, but the penalty puts North in good position. Cannon lobs it down the sideline. Chasing after it is Jones, and there's another flag. He got tangled up on the play with the defensive back, and as he got tripped up by Lord in the 3rd, that is a pass interference and another 15-yard penalty on Central.
Yeah, there was no doubt the cornerback was beat. Jones got by him right away, and probably not the worst play in the world to go ahead and grab a handful of jersey plus a little bit of other stuff there. You're going to give up 15 yards, but at the same time, I think that was a touchdown if he didn't.
This is a North offense that only returns 3 starters. They lost 5 of their 6 main guys on the offensive line. So it's a little bit of a rebuild. But as you know, Monty, the one thing we've seen with North, and they've had great success, and Larry Martin has etched his name in the Hall of Fame in Nebraska. North is usually a slow-starting team. They always say you don't want to play North in November.
He mentioned that, too, in pregame. He said, you know how we are. We're going to get better throughout the season. We're going to get better halfway through the season. We're going to be pretty darn good.
All these Central penalties have moved the ball now to the Eagle 21-yard line. Snap back to Cannon. Plenty of time. He'll throw it again. Looking downfield. He's got room to run, and he will run. And he is brought down at the 15-yard line.
Pretty interesting here. 3 times on first down. Looking deep. Trying to change things up. You'd expect them to hammer a little bit with their running back and get chunk up 4, 5, 6 yard gains early on, but he's got some single coverage out on the outside, and thinks he's got a chance to hit a home run.
Anthony Dial on the tackle. There is Larry Martin, now in his 26th year. He has won 3 state titles. He has 2 runner-ups.
A lot of respect for that guy. Does it the right way.
Pride of Illinois, formerly Fremont Bergen before he came to the Metro. And the snap mishandled. It's on the turf. and recovered by North. You got a great shot there as Cannon, the quarterback, may have pulled out too soon, and it is recovered. Fortunately for the Vikings, Tyrese Webster comes up with the fumble recovery, and it'll be 3rd down.
Yeah, you can see that snap. It looked like it was actually, it was back there, but he was starting to pull away. Center was starting to fire up, and you go from a 2nd down and 5 to a 3rd down and 5, just like that. Kind of changes a little bit of what you want to do offensively, I think.
Now, North has not attempted a field goal yet this year. It is 3rd down and 4 at the 15. Ron Cannon runs right up the middle into a host of defenders, and all he can do is get back to the line of scrimmage. Cannon last week in the 6-point win over Papio South had 219 yards rushing and 2 scores. So now, Monty, it brings up 4th and 4.
You can see those linebackers plug in right away, have no respect for the pass on there. They figured they were going to run the ball twice on the 3rd down and 4 situation.
Most of it has been inside with Cannon. He's definitely got the speed to bounce it outside, and now he sits on the hip of Elijah Cannon. On 4th and 4, Cannon will throw it. Cannon looking across the middle into traffic, and it's broken up. Elijah Middlebrook, the sophomore, was able to knock the pass away, and Central holds on downs. Scoreless. It's game time on Your View.
Nearly 1 in 4 U.S. consumers have been a victim of identity theft, even when they did all the right things to protect their personal information.
I did everything right, but an institution that had my data didn't, and now my identity's been stolen.
Banks, hospitals, employers, and other institutions all have your personal information too, and when they're exposed, careful monitoring of your accounts and credit won't be enough.
$110,000 of my hard-earned money gone.
The stakes are high, and even if you take steps to protect your personal information, you're not the only one who has it. Only LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points every second, alerting you to the widest volume of threats. And if you become a victim, a dedicated U.S.-based identity restoration specialist will fix it, guaranteed. Plus, all LifeLock members are backed by the LifeLock $1 Million Protection Package, including reimbursement for stolen funds. Call now or go online and use promo code 35TV to save 35% off an annual plan for your first year.
10 straight times North has beaten Central. The last 2 years have been really close. Now this game has started. We expect another close one. Welcome back. Game time on Your View. The whole crew is here at Siemens Stadium in downtown Omaha on the campus of Omaha Central. Let's get a look at the Eagles, who were held to a 3-and-out, but their defense bows up and stops North at the Central 15-yard line. And just goes back. Central hasn't attempted a field goal. That's one thing they're working on, but they had to go for it on 4th and 4, and it remains a scoreless game as the Eagles get the ball back. And a little misdirection between Pittman and Haney over the left side. Just a few yards for Kaylon Haney, who was offered by Nebraska a couple of years ago. He is a 2-year starter, 2nd-team All-Metro last year.
See that jet motion there, trying to get the linebackers, defensive line to honor that. Coming back with a little bit of a counter, didn't work out real well. But one thing about Omaha North is, again, up front they're always strong, they're always disciplined, and they're tough to move out of there.
Haney hasn't had a great start because a lot of people have been keying on him. He hasn't had a lot of running room on the year. Just 19 carries, 90 yards, 3 scores coming in. Newsome, he can run, and he's on the run, and he throws it, and it is complete to Grigsby. And Grigsby stays on his feet, and he's out to the 35-yard line. And that's the dangerous part of B.J. Newsome. He can stay on his feet. He knew where the marker was, slammed on the brakes, and found Grigsby, who was wide open, who brought the ball all the way out to the 35. That's a pickup of 18.
The quarterback who can extend the play with his legs is so valuable. And you can see this action right here. Finds his guy, and then watch Grigsby doing Grigsby things right there amongst 3 people. Bounces off him, gets a little bit extra, and first down, Eagles.
Deontay Courtney Yassir, he's on the 28 player to watch list. First down for Central. Newsome again. Quick toss. He finds Grigsby out the 41, and Grigsby immediately goes down as he was hit by Darian Jones, the future Hawkeye, who committed to Iowa on the 4th of July. His brother Donovan is a rising sophomore at Nebraska and has become one of the more physical cornerbacks on the Nebraska roster. Donovan, and Darian are two brothers to watch. It'll be fun down the road when they're in the Big Ten together. You feel for the parents. They're great people.
Yeah, absolutely. Long, rangy athlete. You see his hitting ability right there.
Newsom calls his own number, and you can see the strength he has. He gets a couple of yards. Now it'll set up 3rd down and short. Newsom is 6 foot 170.
Not a lot of creativity here. You just handing or snapping him the ball and letting him go, and not a lot of movement up there in the front line. I think there is going to have to be some attacking of the flank and some misdirection there to be able to run the ball against that very stout Omaha North front 7.
Newsom, who has gotten some interest, South Dakota State among others. A rare 4-year starter at quarterback at Omaha Central. And he'll throw it again on 3rd down. Finds Grigsby behind the sticks, and Grigsby is gobbled up. And there is a flag down. Jaden Cannon came over to make the tackle, along with Michael Valencia, the transfer from Pavilion La Vista. But this is going to be a penalty on North. It's going to be a 1st down for the Eagles.
This is going to be interesting. The face mask was called by the white hat that was about 25 yards away. The guy that was right in front of it there didn't. I don't know if we're going to have a replay on that, but it didn't look to me like he did have the face mask, but I guess we're going to see. Shoulder pad.
And that is a great shot by our crew tonight. Aaron, Brian, David, Todd all on camera tonight with us. And yeah, that's why Valencia was saying face mask. Yeah, good catch there, Monty, and a good shot by our crew.
We had a good view of that. The white hat seemed like he was blocked off and assumed what he saw. And, unfortunate for the Viking
Unfortunate
defense.
for the Vikings, because that's a 15-yard penalty. Scoreless, 3.5 to go in the 1st quarter. Newsom to put it up again. He finds Grigsby, who sits down in the zone, and Grigsby makes the catch, and he is immediately cleaned up on the play by Maxwell Clark.
You can see what Omaha North is doing defensively against Pittman. They're putting 2 guys. They pressed him up on top with the safety behind, and that's why Grigsby has seen so many balls in this 1st quarter. He's got a little bit more room and a little bit more one-on-one coverage over there on the short side of the field.
Darian Jones is the 4-star prospect. Maxwell Clark is the heart and soul of this North defense. That was a pickup of 6. Now 3 wide receivers to the top of your screen as Central is driving. Buoyed by a 3rd down, 15-yard penalty toss to Haney. He's got blockers downfield. Now can he get to the outside? And there's going to be another penalty. Good job coming up on the play. Corday Richard went low to slice down Haney. But the flag comes out and another penalty. You guys thought I was kidding then.
I didn't.
You have the North Central game and there's all kinds of haberdashery on the field.
Haberdashery, I like that one.
Bingo card.
Are there shenanigans too?
Yes.
Tomfoolery?
That is my word of the night. Holding on Central is the call from our referee, Jim Pullman. Jim is not going to have to go to yoga tomorrow because he's going to get a workout with his arms. And it does appear that Jim, our referee, does not miss an arms day. And he is going to work it tonight. And that's another penalty that'll move Central back to the 46-yard line. Here in the 1st quarter, Central and North. A backyard brawl. College, it's Pitt and West Virginia, which ironically are playing this weekend as well. Newsom to throw. Plenty of time. Now the pocket collapse. He's on the run. He throws it downfield, and it's caught by
Pittman. Looks like we might have a little bit of injury here.
McIntyre Daly was in pursuit. Hit Newsom. He lost his helmet, but Newsom stuck him there. Fired a strike along the boundary to Pittman, who made the catch. And that is a 1st down.
Looked like he rolled his ankle a little bit, but also lost his helmet. So obviously he's going to have to come out of the game because of that. But very nice play again, extending the play and finding his receiver out there toward the sideline.
So Grigsby will have to shift to quarterback for at least one play. He is the backup quarterback, so this is not a wildcat. He fumbles the snap, and he got it back. So Newsom puts his helmet back on, and he'll come back into the game, and the Eagles avert danger with 2:05 to go here in the 1st quarter.
There you can see the play where he kind of got rolled up on his ankle just a little bit. You see him grabbing it, but also his helmet came off. And unfortunately, because Grigsby was kind of thrown into that role, almost like a wildcat quarterback, he was going to run the ball, and he kind of took off running before he got the snap. So lost it down there. It turns into a 2nd down and really long situation.
B.J. Lewis, they love to move him around on the line of scrimmage on defense for North. Terrence Mackey will take a timeout. Waiting a 2nd and 16. We're in the first quarter on game time.
Do you have difficulty hearing your TV? Or have trouble hearing conversations? Then you would benefit from Nano hearing aids. Other hearing aids are expensive and cost thousands of dollars. But if you call now, you can get 2 Nano CIC rechargeable OTC hearing aids for less than $1 a day. Don't be fooled by overpriced hearing aids ever again. The Nano CIC rechargeable hearing aid is a true hearing aid, not an amplifier. And they offer superior noise reduction and a tiny in-the-ear design that is nearly invisible. And best of all, they are incredibly affordable. Call now and get 2 Nano CIC rechargeable OTC hearing aids for less than $1 a day. Plus, get a free charging dock and your shipping is always free. But that's not all. Order now and get 1 year of elite protection with loss and theft coverage absolutely free. That's a $79 value, yours free. And all Nano hearing aids come with a 45-day money-back guarantee.
Call 1-800-390-1322. That's 1-800-390-1322.
We're in downtown Omaha on this Friday night. That is the Bob Carey Pedestrian Bridge. Takes you from Nebraska to Iowa and vice versa. Not very far from where we are. Monty Kranzenstein, Gary Sharp, John Carter, our statistician, Brad Pace, our director. See Brad Zimmerman here tonight. The whole crew. Mike Nicola down on the field. Tom and Gino. Newsom to put it up. His pass is caught by Grigsby. And Grigsby backpedaling, stays in bounds, headed to the end zone. Touchdown.
And there you go. You miss a tackle in this ball game, and it can cost you big time. That's just a one-on-one play out there against the cornerback. And again, number 2 doing number 2 things.
And Newsom once again, with his legs, keeping the play alive, fires a dart to Grigsby. Missed tackle, and then good job by Grigsby to stay in bounds. That's a 31-yard touchdown pass from Newsom. His first touchdown pass of the year to Grigsby. And the PAT is no good. See Yasir Grigsby, and here is how it unfolded. So Richard Monty went low on the tackle, and then Jaden Cannon couldn't catch up to him.
Dropped his eyes, and that's a no-no. All you have to do is feather him a little bit and wait for help, but try and tackle him one-on-one in space. That's a hard task right there.
6-0 in favor of Central. Central won their opening game. They were down by 17 at Bellevue West with 8:08 to go on the opening week. Came back, won on a field goal with 9 seconds to go, 29-28. And then last week, I mentioned that was Newsom's first touchdown pass of the night. He had 3 last week in the shutout win over South. As you can look at B.J. Newsom. Father, a football coach as well, but a 4-year starter at quarterback. He's one of the rare guys, and I believe he might be the only quarterback that's ever thrown for over 4,000 career yards in a Central uniform.
Well, it used to be they just hand off to one of their unbelievable I-backs, so there wasn't a whole lot of passing attacks in that past Omaha Central offense.
I'm glad you brought this up because this is where I get giddy. Have you heard of Sayers, Green, Morrow, Horn, Flowers, Calvin Jones, a Grigsby, Keith Jones, David Horn, who's on the staff here at Omaha Central? It was I-back high.
Unbelievable.
And the great Gale Sayers. Usually we see his brother Roger at this game. Amon Green usually makes an appearance, but they have a beautiful statue outside of this fine facility.
One of my
favorite
Gale
things
Sayers is walking in the hallways of Central and looking at their Hall of Fame and looking at they're not just athletes, but looking at the people and the graduates there. It's so impressive.
We'll talk to Central boys basketball coach Bruce Chubbuck coming up at halftime. We'll see if Bruce is in attendance here tonight. Short kickoff. North gets the ball down 6-0. And Richard got away from one tackler and out across the 25 to the 27-yard line. So if you're just joining us, a 31-yard touchdown pass. Newsom to Grigsby, and that came on the heels of North being stopped at the 15-yard line. But penalties have been the story. Central's been penalized 3 times for 40 yards, North 2 for 25. And here comes the brother of Jerron Cannon, Elijah Cannon, at quarterback.
on first down, they've taken a few shots here. We're going to see if Larry will kind of get back to being Larry and say, forget about this noise. We're just going to go ahead and hammer you a little bit. But, if you have some mismatches out in early downs, well, it might not hurt to give it a shot.
Last year, at Larry Martin, the head coach, North 9-3, lost in the semi to Omaha West Side. So Cannon bottled up after a pickup of 6. Jerron Cannon, last year, 1,447 yards, 19 touchdowns. Two-time All-Stater, headed to Northwest Missouri State.
Oh, good place for him. He will do some damage there. I just love to watch his balance. See when he goes into the line, he's never too far over his knees, never too far over his feet. Just an outstanding high school running back.
North doesn't have as many well-known running backs, but they have a nice history as well. And that brings us to the end of the first quarter. One of the best games that Calvin Strong ever played was right here on this field. We're through one. Central 6, North nothing. On a Grigsby touchdown. Look at the football.
Heads up, the IRS is on the move. If you owe the IRS more than $10,000 in back taxes, revenue agents can now come directly to your home to collect. That means bank accounts, assets, and cash are all up for grabs. The time for waiting is over. StopIRSDebt.com can intercept these agents and stop collections fast. With thousands of 5-star reviews, we've helped low and high income taxpayers get protected and slash their tax debt. So if you're under audit, need your returns filed, or have an agent at your door, go to StopIRSDebt.com now to check for savings. Simply answer a few questions and you're done. With 87,000 new IRS agents on the move, don't roll the dice any longer. There are now generous options to resolve your tax debt, but you must act fast. Don't wait until it's too late. Go to StopIRSDebt.com now to check for savings.
Call 855-296-9016. That's 855-296-9016.
Hi, everyone. If you've been injured in an accident that was not your fault, we have legal professionals standing by to let you know how much your case is potentially worth. I'm here with TV personality and spokesman Tom Mustin. So, Tom, tell the viewers at home who should call right now.
Well, Gina, anyone who's been injured in an accident that was not your fault, give us a call right now. You'll speak with a live person and find out how much your case is potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. You heard it. Take advantage of this opportunity. Call now.
Great turnout by the Central student section, also the North student section. The stands are packed at Siemens Stadium. Muggy night for football. We begin quarter number 2. Game time on your view. And North facing 2nd down and 6. Elijah Cannon turns, hands it off to his brother Dron. And Dron's got a screen. And watch out. Now it is a track meet. Can he run away from Pittman? He slams on the brakes and cuts it back towards the end zone. He will score. He goes 69.
Wow. Well blocked at the line of scrimmage. Incredible play in the open field there. And as I said, I hope you didn't go for a beverage during that break, because you come back and he can go long ways quickly.
Look at the replay when Pittman comes up to meet him and Cannon slams on the brakes, straight downfield blocking money.
Got an angle there. Feels it. Boom.
And then you have Caprice Keith, the Iowa State commit, coming after him, but Cannon goes 69. A nice run ties the game at 6. Valentine, the PAT is up, and it squirts over the crossbar, barely, and North takes a 7-6 lead. Jerron Cannon, 69 yards to begin the second quarter.
And I guess that answered our question of what they really want to do. They got behind a little bit and said, you know what? I'm going to just hand the ball off to this kid and watch him do something really, really special. I love watching that kid run.
But again, the downfield blocking was pretty impressive. And that's
no holds either. You know, a lot of times we see that where he breaks through initially and those downfield receivers kind of get a little anxious and they start losing, and all of a sudden they'll grab a little jersey. Good discipline there not to have a holding penalty.
That's the largest hold that Canada has seen tonight. Coming in 38 carries in the first 2 weeks, 338 yards. That's his 5th touchdown of the young season as we enter week number 3.
We've seen a couple good running backs in our last 2 weeks, huh?
Well, I was going to, we just rattled off the great Central running backs. Calvin Strong, who is one of the best to carry the football in the state of Nebraska, 7,472 career yards, 103 touchdowns. You had his brother Jordan, you had Milton Sarbaugh, now Jerron Cannon in his third year. Short kickoff will be taken at the 21-yard line by Yasir Grigsby. Cuts it back, still on his feet, all the way out to the 40-yard line.
Not a shortage of open field running in this ballgame, is there, Gary? This is a treat.
There is a plethora of speed on the field, so anytime you get a seam, you have to take advantage of it, just like Cannon did on his 69-yard touchdown run. And B.J. Newsom goes right back to work. Last time he was out there, 31-yard touchdown pass to Yasir Grigsby.
So now, once you get into the second quarter, you see a little bit of after the initial adjustments that are going to be made defensively and offensively. You see kind of what they're doing with their defensive backfield. They shift a little bit. These second quarters are always an interesting quarter as far as adjustments are made.
Haney, boy, it looked good over the right side, but the Viking defense swarmed him, and he is held up. B.J. Lewis was in there. James Harrington was in there. I'm sure Maxwell Clark, who seems to be always around the ball, last year had an incredible 142 tackles in 12 games.
You know, they do such a great job of swallowing up blockers. You know, that front four that they have swallows blockers. They don't make a lot of individual plays, but they create chaos and let the linebacker clean it up.
Just a slight pickup of 2 yards for Haney, who is also a wrestler. Talk about linemen wrestling. How about running backs and their balance? Newsom to put it up. Looks deep, now chased out of the pocket. He's under pressure. There's a flag down. It's going to be holding, and the pass is intercepted at midfield. He threw it right into the arms of Darian Jones. Jones and Keith, who will be involved in the Cyhawk game next year and beyond, were together, and Jones right across the middle of the field. They always tell you, running, don't throw it across the middle of the field. Newsom threw it across the middle of the field, and Jones took it away from Keith. That's a turnover by Central. It was holding on the play, and now North's got the ball on Central's side of the 50.
You read my mind when you're talking about how many times you have quarterback coaches that talk about that. You see a little bit of pressure, step forward, got a little bit of pressure, trying to extend the play like he's done so well, but throws it late over the middle, and you don't want to throw it anywhere in that neighborhood of Mr. Jones because he's going to come up with the football. And that's a big turnover. Now all of a sudden, huge momentum change as Omaha North gets the ball into Central territory to start this drive.
First interception thrown by Newsom. Mr. Jones. Great song, by the way.
Very good. Counting Crow's great.
Valencia carries it. He's a wrestler. Just a sophomore. Played his freshman year at Buena Vista last year. He gets a pickup of about 2 yards. So Cannon is the lead running back. And then you have Valencia. That's a nice changeup. 13th carry of the year. You get a look at Michael Valencia.
You can see those big boys from Central kind of puffing a little bit. They didn't get much of a rest over there. You see that defensive line, hands on their hips a little bit, puffing. And I think that they, if I'm Omaha North, I'm pressuring them a little bit, making them guys run because you have a little bit of momentum here.
Game time on your view from Siemens Stadium in downtown Omaha. Number 5, Omaha North. Number 6, Omaha Central. Elijah Cannon spins it, looks deep, looking for Jones down the sideline. He'll go up, and he'll make the catch. Oh, my. Mr. Jones. 36 yards. It was a 50-50 ball, and Jones, the future Hawkeye, went up and snagged it. Now, remember, Iowa isn't thinking about him playing wide receiver. They like him as a defensive back. I think Larry Martin likes him every time he's on the field. He makes another big play after an interception, and his reception puts the Vikings in the red zone.
If it's a 50-50 ball and Darian Jones involved, I say it's about a 70-30 ball. I'll tell you, that kid went up and went after it. Second big play he's made in the last 3 minutes.
Elijah Cannon goes under center. Jerron Cannon, after the 69-yard touchdown run, is on the bench in Valencia. This was a slow developing play, and that allowed the linebacker, Calix Pierce, make his 9th tackle of the year. With his second down and goal. Last year, North won this game 28-18. They have won every game that has been played outside of that 3-year stretch of 18, 19, 20. There was no OPS football in the COVID year of 2020. But North has won every game since 15, and now Larry Martin will take a timeout. They're faced with 2nd down and goal. Drive it to try and add to their lead on Game Time.
Thinking about retirement? Would you like to have retirement income that you can count on for the rest of your life? How about up to 33% more income? Call this number to get this free book, Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers. This book is filled with valuable information uncovering little-known secrets to help you maximize your income in retirement. And it's free. Retirement income you can count on starts by calling for this free book. As a bonus, we'll also rush this annuity rate report, also absolutely free. Annuity National researched numerous products and summarized the rates and benefits of annuities from foremost insurance companies like Nassau Life and Annuity. Call for both these free books. Annuity National, retirement income you can count on for the rest of your life. Call now.
For your free books, call 800-793-7995. That's 800-793-7995. 800-793-7995.
Where the Vikings would like to cross after the Jones interception of midfield, and then the 37-yard catch on the fade where he leaped over the defensive back. It's now 2nd down and goal for the Vikings after the timeout. Valencia stays on the field, the running back, and he carries it, cuts it back to the purple end zone. Touchdown. Michael Valencia with a 11-yard touchdown run.
After a great run defense on down 1, not very well played. Well, actually, I should say very well blocked by the Viking line. You see they ran into a little bit of a strong side of the field there. Watch this nice cut by 22, and he's the backup. And anytime you can run the ball for a score on 2nd down and 12, you got to feel pretty good about your offensive line the way you're blocking.
Valentine, PAT, hit the upright, no good. Another look at the score by Michael Valencia.
Nice hook block there on the outside, and the outside containment turned him in, but there was no linebacker, no inside action there. We talked about those interior line maybe being a little bit tired to pursue like that, exploited by that outside run play, outside zone play. And that's a big turnaround for Omaha North with the interception and then that subsequent big long pass down the sideline to Jones.
So now if you are Central Mining, you're feeling good, you score on a highlight reel touchdown of your own, but a 69-yard touchdown run to begin the 2nd quarter, and now the turnover results in points. And you look at the scoreboard and you're down a touchdown. What do you do in terms of your identity here on this drive?
Well, one of the problems they have is they haven't been able to run the ball consistently against Omaha North's defense. And so I don't know if they're going to do anything different. They just need to do what they're doing and do it a little bit better. You notice they've had some fumble, they had penalties, they've had an interception. They just have to execute a little bit better. I don't think it's a matter of game plan.
After the missed extra point, leaving it a 7-point game with a short kickoff. Not returned very far as Robert McDonald took it out to the 35-yard line. Omaha Central again 6-4 last year, returning 6 players on offense. Central has been to the championship game twice in their illustrious history. Now remember, boys basketball, they had to build another wing in the school.
So good for so long.
What they were doing in basketball, winning state championships with some of the best teams ever assembled in Nebraska. They won a title in '84. Last time they won a title, '07.
Play clock didn't really start so they got a little bit of a break, a late play clock there, so they're fine.
It's been an interesting night so far with the play clock and the regular game clock that ran through a kickoff and ensuing play. Grigsby, trick play, he'll throw it down the field, wide open wide receiver, it is caught. Marlon Brewer Jr. And there is a flag down. Grigsby was hit as he threw it. So this will be on North, but a trick play, or at least we think it is. Terrence Mackey, the head coach of the Eagles, is on the field. Jim Pullman signals what we thought roughing the passer. So they run the trick play with the backup quarterback, Grigsby. They caught North off guard. Grigsby to Brewer Jr.
You see there, just heaves it out there. You see the hands to the face, and there's certainly a 15-yard penalty there, but really the highlight of that play was the fact that they faked the jet sweep and got the receiver behind that defensive back. He's wide open. A nice throw, especially when you're getting hit in the face like that.
Here is a snag by Marlon Brewer Jr. Well, he caught, as you know, Monty, North got caught looking in the backfield. Defensive backs, and Brewer Jr. was wide open. So now it is after the penalty, and it's a lengthy penalty. It'll put the ball in the red zone down to the 14-yard line.
Kudos to Central. You know, they had a special that they thought was going to work, right? And no better time, because we talked about the momentum and we talked about what they were going to do. So nice play call, good timing, and now they're back in it here.
Newsom looks over a four-man front, turns, hands it off to Haney. Can he get to the outside? He does get to the outside. He cuts it back up, and he's hit from behind. Max Clark caught him, but it was inside of the 5.
There you see a little bit of what Nebraska and some of those other schools have seen in Haney. He goes the outside, really a smooth running back here. Puts his foot in the ground. You can see, boom, right there. Flags the ball just a little bit. Unfortunately, hangs onto it on the tackle, but you can see what those colleges are looking at when they see his speed and his athleticism.
Only a junior, also has offers from Kansas State, Kansas, and Wisconsin.
Yes, sir.
Here he is again, and this was read perfectly by North. Coming in to clean it up, Devin Cox, the junior defensive lineman, with a tackle for loss, and all of a sudden things get interesting because they will move the ball back on 2nd down and goal.
There isn't a lot of blocking going on up front there. There's about 4 guys that could have made that tackle right there. But, you know, one of the things about your play calling, Gary, is without having a field goal attack, you're really thinking you got 3 more plays to make these yards as well. You aren't considering what you're going to do on 4th down, I don't believe.
It's former Nebraska tight end, the pride of Brady, prepped at Gothenburg. Monty Kratz's time. Now 2nd down and goal. Newsom, empty backfield, looking, fires it to the end zone. It's caught, touchdown. He hung in there. He took the hit, and he found his target, Grigsby, again.
Boy, that's a nice ball. Had one-on-one coverage out there into a wide open area. And again, we've talked about how good Grigsby is this. This is a really nice throw. Guys' feet underneath him and put the ball in a place where only his receiver can catch it. And boy, again, kudos, hats off, whatever you want to say to that Omaha Central offense there, because they totally switched that field around, switched that momentum around as they were kind of taking a beating there. But the special play got him, the personal foul got him down the field and executed and finished off that drive.
Vargas Pavley with the PAT ties the game at 13. 7-yard touchdown pass for the 2nd time tonight. Newsom to Grigsby.
Hi, and welcome everyone watching at home. We're here to remind you that we have agents standing by right now to answer your legal questions. So if you've been injured in an accident that was not your fault, call now. Find out if you have a case and how much is potentially worth. I'm Gina Bellich, here with spokesman and TV personality Tom Mustin. So Tom, tell everyone watching at home who should call right now.
Well, Gina, first off, thank you for having me here in the studio. Now, as far as who should call in, the answer is anyone who's been injured in an accident that was not your fault should give us a call right now. Agents are standing by to answer any questions you may have and tell you how much your case is potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. So what kind of calls are we seeing today?
Well, Gina, we're getting calls about all types of accidents, but the most common has been car accidents. So if you or someone you know were injured in an accident that was not your fault, take that first step and give us a call. We'll answer your questions and you'll find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. Call now.
That is downtown Omaha on a sultry night for football.
We had a view very similar to that in Gothenburg High School. It just takes me back to those days back in the 308, looking out over the big city. Yeah.
So from the football field there at Gothenburg, what was the view? Did you have a First National Bank building? Did you have a Woodman Tower?
No, but if there was a north wind blowing, we had a feedlot north of town. That added a little bit to the atmosphere.
Okay.
So, to each his own.
Football is football, Monty.
Absolutely.
13-13 in the football, just like we expected. Big plays, penalties.
I don't know if Pat Novacek would be able to coach in an atmosphere like this. I don't know if he was a Hall of Fame type coach out in 308, but I think he might struggle a little bit.
It has drawn the celebrities here tonight. One celebrity's a little busy tomorrow night. He used to make this a regular appearance. Kickoff to Richard. He's out to the 25.
Yeah, is he busy tonight, you think?
Yeah, the champ, Bud Crawford. He usually is at this game, but he's got a little business to take care of tomorrow night. He's fighting in Vegas against Canelo Alvarez. What a fight that's going to be. And
legacy fight, huh?
How big is Bud for this community? And, he's got relationships with Omaha North and Omaha Central. Everybody knows Bud. And, yeah, a couple years ago, he hung out on the broadcast with us.
Is that right?
And won't be happening tonight. I can guarantee you that. So, finally, our great truck has recognized the clock just keeps running. And so they stopped it. I think Jim Pullman finally realized it's about the third time it's happened tonight. So now we're set. Cannon to throw. Cannon's pass to Jones. Caught. Now can Jones gain ground? He was going the wrong way. And he is finally down at the 32-yard line. That'll be a pickup of 7.
Tell you what, that's a long throw for Cannon across there, and had some one-on-one coverage and some room. But that's a long pass from where they snapped the ball to where he caught the ball. And you were right, kind of took off the wrong direction there, trying to create some space and make something happen. So they rallied to the ball and had a chance to keep him from the first down marker.
Cannon transferred from Omaha Creighton Prep. Creighton Prep off to a great start. Back-to-back games where they've scored at least 6 touchdowns. They have a big game tonight at Lincoln Southeast.
Fighting Timmy Yonks.
We'll see Prep and Central here in a couple of weeks. 13-13. Midway through the second quarter. And this time Cannon gobbled up by Jerry Jackson Jr. Last time Cannon touched the ball, he went 69 for a score. It seems like Jerry Jackson Jr. has been playing at Central forever. He was second-team All-Metro last year. He's a 3-year starter. 5'11", 280 pounds. As he puts all of his weight on top of Jerron Cannon. Now it'll be third down, and it looks from our vantage point, Bonnie, about a yard.
Yeah. That was a very nice play, fighting off that block, and you saw the movement of Jackson there. You see he's coming across. But this is right up North's alley, and we'll see how many people Central rallies to the football here. So watch those linebackers, see how tight they play, see if they're coming.
And a flag is out, and the play clock had double zeros on it. So this will be a 5-yard delay of game penalty. Here's Jim Pullman. Oh, no. A timeout was taken first by North. So Larry Martin and his staff, realizing that the play clock was headed towards the double zeros, takes the timeout. 4:43 to go here in the first half. 13-13. Non-district backyard brawl game. A lot of these players played together growing up, maybe at Buffett Middle School, Pop Warner teams. You get a good look at Larry Martin. 26 years as the head coach. Boy, my time doing these games, Martin, he's been great to me. I've learned so much from him. He's such an ideal person on and off the field to mold young men at Omaha North. And 26 years in that role is really unbelievable in this day and age.
When I was coaching, 27 years ago, the coach before him, Herman Colvin, was exactly the same way. He was exactly the same way, and he was just such a great leader for those kids and such a character sort of a guy. And we always respected Omaha North when we played them, and they always had tough teams.
You remember you mentioned Herman Colvin. I want to throw in. We're talking about North running backs and more recent, but Clinton Childs had a nice little career. But Cannon's had a really good career, and he's got a first down.
We played Clinton Childs, and I remember a guy by the name of Leonard Washington that blocked for him there.
He's a great wrestler, too.
And I'll tell you what, both those guys got scholarships to the University of Nebraska, and that was, again, Herman's kind of deal. They'd hand the ball off to Clinton right behind old Leonard, and I'll tell you what, that was a hard thing to stop over and over and over again.
So the first down, all the way out to the 42-yard line.
Herman and Bill James, who I coached with, we're great friends. We spent a lot of Friday nights after games with them and talked about Omaha North and Bellevue East football.
Cannon in the backfield. Law firm, Elijah rolls out, looks downfield, across the middle of the field, and the pass is intercepted. Caprice Keith dove in front of Darian Jones. And the future Iowa State Cyclone with his dad Kenton and his grandfather Percy here tonight makes the interception.
How many times we say it? Late over the middle, and he made a throw that you really don't want to make, especially against an athlete like Keith. You see he's rolling out, trying to make a play with his feet, but you just know he can't make that play. Ball's in the air way too long. A beautiful play by Keith there, who had a great opportunity before the game. Talked to his dad, Kenton, and also his grandfather, Percy. They're sitting down there, really kind of rehash some of the days of Husker football from the 70s. And Kenton Keith, of course, played for New Mexico State. One of my buddies, Jerry Godowski, and Tony Samuels when he was down there. That's a pretty neat reunion.
Man, just think about it. You had Kenton Keith and Randy Stella at the same time at Omaha Benson when they were playing for state titles. So the turnover gives North the football on the 42-yard line. And Haney is going nowhere. Boy, as he lifted his head, he looked right at B.J. Lewis, who gobbled him up and brought him down. And that's going to be a loss of 2.
My first game coaching special teams at Millard West, we had our first game against Benson, and it was Kenton Keith and Randy Stella. They were returning kicks. We knew they couldn't beat us in the line of scrimmage, but I told my kicker, if either of those guys ever catch the ball on a punt or a kickoff, you're fired the rest of the season. I don't care if you hit me in the head over on the sideline. Do not let them touch the ball on a kick. And it was successful.
Kenton played in the NFL and also the CFL. He's now, along with his wife, a personal trainer. He's trained a lot of the players on both of these teams. Newsom to throw, and he's going to be sacked. Was there a face mask there?
Well,
but there was also some confusion.
The crowd,
Central's offensive line, part of it never moved.
Yeah, that the defensive guy came by untouched. We'll probably see that untouched. Got there, and again, very similar to the play over on this side where it looked, I couldn't tell whether he had his face mask or whether he had the shoulder pad up by the face mask, and obviously that time.
So let's look at this. Yeah, just uncontested coming in was James Harrington, and he grabbed him in the right spot. Now it is 3rd down and 22, tied as we near halftime. We'll talk to Omaha Central boys basketball coach Bruce Chubbuck Jr. coming up at the break, the former Husker. Haney, who might be a future Husker, chased out of bounds to the 35-yard line, and it'll be a punting situation for the Eagles for the second time tonight.
In these type of games, when there's some punts like this, the snappers are so important. And we were watching pregame, watching the snaps to the field goal holders and also to the punters, and none of them were actually spiraling the ball back there in breakneck speed. So take a look at the snap. Very important part of it. You never know who the long snapper is until he makes a mistake, it seems like.
See Abdul Muhammad in your picture there for a moment, the former Husker national champion.
One of the toughest Huskers ever, by the way.
Well, and there is quite a few former Huskers on staffs. David Horn, Abdul Muhammad is on Terrence Mackey's staff. Larry Martin has Niles Paul, one of the better Nebraska wide receivers. Zach Bowman, defensive back. So a lot of former Huskers, whether they played for Coach Osborne, Coach Solich, or any other coaches since then, have stuck around Nebraska and have coached. Some are head coaches, a lot of assistants, and also giving back to the young men that are trying to achieve where they were, play in Lincoln or elsewhere. As timeout is taken, North takes the timeout, so they're going to get the ball, Monty, in pretty good field position. 2:15 to go here in the first half. 13-13.
It looked to me like before that timeout was called that Omaha North was looking to set up a little bit of a block here. Now, with the timeout, you wonder if maybe they're going to do a little bit of hold up and see if they can get Mr. Jones loose in the open field, maybe get him on a punt return. But if I'm Central, I'm a little bit concerned about this play, either from getting the ball off and also making sure you're covering this punt the right way.
Jarnell Jackson is the punter. Darian Jones, you got to be careful, returned interception, punt, and a kickoff last year for touchdowns. Jackson's punt, boy, he barely got it away off the side of his foot. And this is going to result in a 16-yard punt. It was almost blocked. And now North, which the Vikings have 1 timeout remaining. The clock was continuing to run. So
Mr. White had noticed at that time, and so I think we're going to get a little bit of adjustment there. But actually, North should have blocked that punt. They had a guy going through unencumbered, and but he just took a bad angle. He didn't have the angle in the front of the foot, and probably closed his eyes a little bit, missed that. But caused the short punt, but probably could have had a blocked punt there.
So Jim Pullman comes over to the central sideline. He does not have communication upstairs where we are in the booth next to us where the clock operator is. So he has to communicate with the central coaching staff. They pass it along, and then they'll adjust the clock. But whatever time is remaining, North has got a good spot here. They're at the 48-yard line. They have a timeout remaining, and they have a brand new quarterback on the field. Dominic Yancey, sophomore quarterback who is 12 of 20 this year, made his first varsity start in the win last week at Papio South. This is his first series. Comes with 2:05. They added 10 seconds. Cannon in the backfield with him. And Cannon blocks for a quarterback keeper. And Yancey, who's got speed, as you can tell there, they love to run with him. He is brought down before he could get loose. On his 4th carry of the year. Now 20 yards.
Had a lead blocker that kind of ran by the guy right there. Was very close, 1 tackle away from going a long, long ways really quick. You can see why 15's in the ball game with his athleticism. And one of the things, they've got timeouts left, and they've got some field position here where they've got a chance to run quite a few plays here before the end of the half.
Handoff Cannon. Cannon trying to sneak through the heart of the line of scrimmage. He is brought down by an arm. About a yard short as Zakai Branch is able to make the tackle. Clock running. North snaps it. It'll be about a minute to go, and it's 3rd down and 1.
Yeah, that was a one-arm tackle saved or cost Central about 30 seconds there, because that clock would have stopped on the 1st down. They could have got reset, but clock's running right now.
Remember, North has not attempted a field goal this year. They turned it over on downs on the 15-yard line of their opening drive, and Cannon fell. The Turf Monster got him at the 45, and now it'll be 4th down and about 3.
And it's kind of an interesting series. They've had success running the ball, but there was no urgency whatsoever in trying to get the ball down the field or in the open field. They just stuck with their power run game. You see his feet got tangled up. It looked almost like the quarterback and him got the feet tangled up.
So Yancey is new on this series. This more than likely will be the final play of the first half. North does not want to get the ball back to Central. Central is out of timeouts. 4th down and 2. Dominic Yancey, quarterback, the sophomore, barks out the signal, trying to get Central to jump offside. And they're going nowhere, and then Larry Martin takes his final timeout. So with 2 seconds to go, North will punt the football away, or will they just go for it?
I think probably they might have a chance to just throw the ball deep here. Incomplete pass is going to be halftime. A sack, probably halftime. One thing they don't want to do is get blown up from behind and lose the ball, but it should be the end of half in this one play.
Brain trust of Omaha North. Larry's son, Zach, who is a quarterback for him, is the assistant quarterback coach at Northwestern. Larry was telling us before the game, Northwestern plays at Nebraska in October. He also is going to get to go out to Evanston to see his son in action.
Very proud dad, as he should be.
Zach went to Northwest Missouri State.
Yes, sir.
Had a nice college career, and then he started coaching like dad there in Marysville, and now is in Evanston in the Big Ten. Larry now in his 26th year. Fabulous family. As I mentioned, I've gotten to know him really, really well. He told me before the game, this is a typical team. We gotta have some stern talks early in the year. We gotta toughen up. But I believe in these guys that when we make our way through the season, we'll play our best football at the end of the year. And nobody doubts North anymore if they get off to a slow start.
If Larry Martin talks to me sternly, I pay attention.
Yancey to throw. Final play of the first half. Chased out of the pocket. Now he's got all kinds of room to run. Now he's on the run. Can he make a cut? He does. He misses one guy. Can he miss another? And he slides down at the 25. And it is halftime. So, big plays. 15-yard penalties. Lots of emotion. Packed stands. Typical backyard brawl. North and Central. Halftime coming up next.
Hi, and welcome everyone watching at home. We're here to remind you that we have agents standing by right now to answer your legal questions. So if you've been injured in an accident that was not your fault, call now. Find out if you have a case and how much is potentially worth. I'm Gina Bellich here with spokesman and TV personality Tom Mustin. So Tom, tell everyone watching at home who should call right now.
Well, Gina, first off, thank you for having me here in the studio. Now, as far as who should call in, the answer is anyone who's been injured in an accident that was not your fault should give us a call right now. Agents are standing by to answer any questions you may have and tell you how much your case is potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. So what kind of calls are we seeing today?
Well, Gina, we're getting calls about all types of accidents, but the most common has been car accidents. So if you or someone you know were injured in an accident that was not your fault, take that first step and give us a call. We'll answer your questions and you'll find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. Call now.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, you may face many hard questions. What will tomorrow bring? Which firm should I choose to represent me and my family? We've become the largest injury firm in the world because we've won a lot. Our firm has recovered billions and billions and billions. Over 30% of our new clients are referred by former clients. That says it all. Our results and client satisfaction, that's how we became the largest injury firm in the world. When you call Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm, your very own army springs into action immediately to fight to get you the best result as quickly and easily as possible. If you or anyone in your family has been injured in a car accident, call us now, as the time to file a claim may be limited. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Call 800-589-0055. That's 800-589-0055.
This is important news for people implanted with a spinal cord stimulator for chronic pain relief that malfunctioned, causing serious complications or even death. The FDA has reported thousands of adverse events. If you've been implanted with a spinal cord stimulator and suffered any of these complications, call the law offices of Davis & Crump at the number below right now to find out if you're eligible for a cash award and medical expenses. Call the law offices of Davis & Crump right now. Our first consultation is free, and we don't get paid unless you get paid. Call now. Operators are standing by.
Nightfall in downtown Omaha. Game time on your view. Halftime, and we're knotted at 13. Not a surprise. This is a close one. It's the way it's been the last few years between these two Omaha Public School rivals. We've had big plays. We've had penalties. And we've had moments where it could have turned worse. A couple of interceptions. But for the most part, everything we talked about in the pregame show has come true in the first 24 minutes of football.
Yeah, we kind of made our call there and stuck with it, but I really think that both staffs have to go in at halftime and feel okay about things. Both of them had opportunities they didn't take advantage of. Both of them made plays at certain times. And so, you know, this game is up for grabs here, especially in those first two series are going to be really important because we see a few adjustments. Everybody knows everybody else and where they want to attack by now and the adjustments they need to make. So I'm looking forward to the third quarter and see what kind of differences we see.
So 13-13. Coming up at halftime, when you return, we will talk to one of the most popular Nebraska basketball players of all time, the pride of Atkinson West Holt, current boys basketball coach here at Omaha Central. Bruce Chubbuck joins us next. Halftime, game time on your view.
Nearly 1 in 4 U.S. consumers have been a victim of identity theft, even when they did all the right things to protect their personal information.
I did everything right, but an institution that had my data didn't, and now my identity's been stolen.
Banks, hospitals, employers, and other institutions all have your personal information too, and when they're exposed, careful monitoring of your accounts and credit won't be enough.
$110,000 of my hard-earned money gone.
The stakes are high, and even if you take steps to protect your personal information, you're not the only one who has it. Only LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points every second, alerting you to the widest volume of threats. And if you become a victim, a dedicated U.S.-based identity restoration specialist will fix it, guaranteed. Plus, all LifeLock members are backed by the LifeLock $1 Million Protection Package, including reimbursement for stolen funds. Call now or go online and use promo code 35TV to save 35% off an annual plan for your first year.
Heads up, the IRS is on the move. If you owe the IRS more than $10,000 in back taxes, revenue agents can now come directly to your home to collect. That means bank accounts, assets, and cash are all up for grabs. The time for waiting is over. StopIRSDebt.com can intercept these agents and stop collections fast. With thousands of 5-star reviews, we've helped low and high income taxpayers get protected and slash their tax debt. So if you're under audit, need your returns filed, or have an agent at your door, go to StopIRSDebt.com now to check for savings. Simply answer a few questions and you're done. With 87,000 new IRS agents on the move, don't roll the dice any longer. There are now generous options to resolve your tax debt, but you must act fast. Don't wait until it's too late. Go to StopIRSDebt.com now to check for savings.
Call 855-296-9016. That's 855-296-9016.
It is halftime on Game Time, 13-13 in the backyard brawl between Central and North. And we are pleased to be joined by Central basketball coach. He really doesn't need any introduction if you're a Nebraska basketball fan or you followed his exploits with his dad over at South. It is Bruce Chubbuck Jr. Welcome. Your thoughts on the first half of this one?
I thought it was a good half. I mean, both teams played pretty well. Defenses were both pretty solid and a little bit messy with penalties. I'm sure the coaches will be yelling at both teams at halftime about cleaning things up, but kind of what you expect out of this rivalry.
Hey, I know as a basketball coach, and you've been in it for a while, working with your dad, now you're in charge of the Central program. People say, well, what are you doing now? You know, you got the summer off, you got the fall off, you guys don't start practicing until November, you start in December. But basketball in this state now has become a year-round job.
Kind of has. In June and July now we can work with the kids pretty much unrestricted per NSAA, and then obviously you have your weight program and your conditioning, and everybody's doing that, and we all kind of do that year-round. Central, we do have 5-6 guys that are probably two-sport guys, particularly Yasir and BJ. And then we have 4 or 5 freshmen that are also out for football that are very good athletes and are going to be good basketball players as well.
How do you balance that? Because, you know, there are some places where they only want you to play one sport, but you promote play as many sports as possible because it helps you in your sports. How do you balance with guys that play football where maybe you don't get them during the summer when you're at team camps, or they're a little bit late if they go deep into the playoffs and joining practice?
So what we try to do is we try to make it so that the practices don't interfere with each other, so that you if you're a guy who is an actual two-sport guy, you got the opportunity to do both. And I know our football guys don't always get to everything that basketball is doing, but I told them, you know, I don't expect you to give, if you're a football first guy, I don't expect you to give the same amount of time, but you got to give us some. Mm-hmm. And the guys have been really good about coming, and, you know, the results have shown themselves.
I don't know that I've ever asked you this, but your dad is a Hall of Famer on both sides of the river and won state championships here in Nebraska. And your basketball career, and you're watching your dad, when did you decide to become a coach? You were on his staff at South and now, of course, in charge here at Central.
I would say when I worked camps for him, he was at Sidney, Iowa, and he had a really good Southwest Iowa All-Star camp. So kids from Villisca, Stanton, Fremont Mills, all over Southwest Iowa would come, and even a couple kids from Council Bluffs or Omaha would come down. And so I worked that camp, and I'm like, yeah, this is really pretty fun. You know, wasn't at that point because I was still playing and I was still, you know, at the height of things. I wouldn't have traded playing for it. Yeah. But now that I'm too old to play, like, it keeps me connected to the game, and I love, you know, working with the kids. I like to see, in a lot of ways, I would say coaching is more rewarding because when you're in it for yourself, yeah, you're sharing it with your teammates, but it's, you know, it's kind of more of an egocentric thing. And when you're watching the kids progress, seeing them accomplish things that they couldn't before, and seeing that light turn on, it's really rewarding. It's certainly not for the money.
Bruce Chubbuck Jr., the head basketball coach at Omaha Central, joining us. What is it like to be a head coach at Central? Because it's not just basketball and the trophies and the names. It's Gale Sayers to the Buffetts. What's it like to be in the hallways and be the head boys basketball coach at Central?
Well, I've said several times, when you walk down the Hall of Fame at Central, you don't see very many sports people in there. It's all people, and I misspoke. I was on podcast the other day. I misspoke and said Henry Ford. Henry Ford didn't go here, but Henry Fonda did.
Yes, he did.
And so, anyway, I misspoke. I knew what I wanted to say, but that's not what came out of my mouth. But, you know, you just look up and you see this guy's an astronaut, and she was a mayor, and, you know, the list goes on and on and on, and you're just like, wow, that's pretty impressive.
Still a couple of months away before you begin practice, but it's a standard at Central. It's your standard personally. When you begin the season, you want to start in your own gym and you want to finish down at Pinnacle Bank Arena. Your thoughts on the upcoming season for the Eagles?
I think, the jury will be out until we prove ourselves, but I think we have a good group of guys. I really like my kids. I think they're not just good ball players, they're good people too. It seems like we're getting some chemistry built within the team, and that always helps. And we probably have the most talent overall that I've had since I've been here.
Well, that's fantastic to hear. When's the last time you played pickup, like real pickup?
Real pickup. I'm 55. I think the last
55?
The last time I played real pickup was probably 47 or 48.
Well,
it was Achilles. knee.
Man.
Scope. So not big deals, but this one. This Achilles was a bad deal, so that was kind of where I was like, I think it might be time to start.
So many memories of
the coaching.
So many memories of the Bob Devaney Sports Center, and now, of course, here in Omaha as a basketball coach. Good luck this season. Thanks for stopping by, Bruce.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me.
That's Bruce Chubbuck Jr., the head boys basketball coach here at Omaha Central. Halftime at Siemens Stadium. 13-13. Central and North on Game Time.
Hi, and welcome everyone watching at home. We're here to remind you that we have agents standing by right now to answer your legal questions. So if you've been injured in an accident that was not your fault, call now. Find out if you have a case and how much is potentially worth. I'm Gina Bellich, here with spokesman and TV personality Tom Mustin. So Tom, tell everyone watching at home who should call right now.
Well, Gina, first off, thank you for having me here in the studio. Now, as far as who should call in, the answer is anyone who's been injured in an accident that was not your fault should give us a call right now. Agents are standing by to answer any questions you may have and tell you how much your case is potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. So what kind of calls are we seeing today?
Well, Gina, we're getting calls about all types of accidents, but the most common has been car accidents. So if you or someone you know were injured in an accident that was not your fault, take that first step and give us a call. We'll answer your questions, and you'll find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. Call now.
Thinking about retirement? Would you like to have retirement income that you can count on for the rest of your life? How about up to 33% more income? Call this number to get this free book, Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers. This book is filled with valuable information uncovering little-known secrets to help you maximize your income in retirement. And it's free. Retirement income you can count on starts by calling for this free book. As a bonus, we'll also rush this annuity rate report, also absolutely free. Annuity National researched numerous products and summarized the rates and benefits of annuities from foremost insurance companies like Nassau Life and Annuity. Call for both these free books, Annuity National, retirement income you can count on for the rest of your life. Call now.
For your free books, call 800-793-7995. That's 800-793-7995. 800-793-7995.
It is halftime at Siemens Stadium. Number 5, Omaha North 13. Number 6, Omaha Central 13 in week number 3. Let's take a look at the highlights from a very entertaining first 24 minutes, Monty.
Absolutely. A lot of big plays, a lot of athleticism. There you see the Omaha North defense being pretty stout, but then you also see guys making plays. Newsom came back from this. He rolled his ankle there. Was only out one play. Tough kid. He knows who to throw the ball to in the open field, number 2.
Sear Grigsby with one of his 2 touchdowns tonight, and then Jerron Cannon turns on the afterburners, 69-yard touchdown run for the top running back of the Metro. Here is Cannon to Jones. Wow, a fade, 37-yard completion for the future Iowa Hawkeye.
Went up and got that baby, didn't he?
And here's Michael Valencia. Last year this time he was a freshman at Buena Vista. This year he's dancing into the end zone in the backyard brawl.
Nice job of coming back after being down. Momentum switched. Ran a special with a long pass downfield. Also had a penalty for roughing the passer. Got down there. That was a big drive, big play for Central.
Teams are back out on the field. We'll talk about the keys for the second half in a 13-13 game.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, you may face many hard questions. What will tomorrow bring? Which firm should I choose to represent me and my family? We've become the largest injury firm in the world because we've won a lot. Our firm has recovered billions and billions and billions. Over 30% of our new clients are referred by former clients. That says it all. Our results and client satisfaction, that's how we became the largest injury firm in the world. When you call Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm, your very own army springs into action immediately to fight to get you the best result as quickly and easily as possible. If you or anyone in your family has been injured in a car accident, call us now, as the time to file a claim may be limited. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Call 800-589-0055. That's 800-589-0055.
Do you have difficulty hearing your TV? Or have trouble hearing conversations? Then you would benefit from Nano hearing aids. Other hearing aids are expensive and cost thousands of dollars. But if you call now, you can get 2 Nano CIC rechargeable OTC hearing aids for less than $1 a day. Don't be fooled by overpriced hearing aids ever again. The Nano CIC rechargeable hearing aid is a true hearing aid, not an amplifier. And they offer superior noise reduction and a tiny in-the-ear design that is nearly invisible. And best of all, they are incredibly affordable. Call now and get 2 Nano CIC rechargeable OTC hearing aids for less than $1 a day. Plus, get a free charging dock and your shipping is always free. But that's not all. Order now and get 1 year of elite protection with loss and theft coverage absolutely free. That's a $79 value, yours free. And all Nano hearing aids come with a 45-day money-back guarantee.
Call 1-800-390-1322. That's 1-800-390-1322.
Attention timeshare owners. This is an urgent consumer alert from the Timeshare Exit Hotline, a national company specializing in helping consumers legally get out of their expensive timeshare contracts. We're offering you a way to legally get rid of your timeshare. So if you're fed up with the maintenance fees that keep on coming and want to learn if you can terminate your timeshare legally and permanently, call today. Call the number on your screen today. It's a free call.
What you cannot see is up here in the booth. We've got our phones out. Along with the Omaha Central student section, 13-13 before we start the third quarter. Let's take a look at the halftime stats. The Cox fast stats. Boy, only 1 rushing yard. Kylon Haney for Omaha Central, but B.J. Newsom, 124 yards. Both quarterbacks threw an interception. Both ended up in the end zone.
A couple different ways of being successful. If you're Omaha North, you want to run the ball. If you want to pound the ball, you want to wear them down, and I think that's what the second half goal is going to be for them. If you're Central, you just got to make open plays in the open field and one-on-one. You see the difference in the rushing yards and passing yards. That's about as a stark difference as what we've seen in a long, long time in games.
Those are the Cox fast stats, giving football fans all the latest stats, courtesy of Cox. So we get set to go here in the third quarter. North will get the football to begin. It is Hawaiian theme night here.
Yeah,
on
I noticed.
12th of September.
I noticed that your flowered shorts came out for the second half. I appreciate that, Gary. Staying in tune with that. Or those your boxers. It's hot up here.
Wow. Guys like Chris, Jason, Chuck, Kevin, and Dan in the truck. They are having a luau. I'll tell you, we have gone all in on the theme here tonight at Omaha Central, and we've gone all in on this very entertaining game. The backyard brawl tied at halftime. We begin the third quarter. Quick update. Millard South is leading Kearney, last check. 3 minutes to go in the first half. 58-0. That's the number one team in Class A.
At Kearney as well.
And Kearney 2-0 coming into that game, and they'd outscored their first 2 opponents 29-0. Now, Millard South has made news today off the field, as it was announced a couple hours before our kickoff, that they are forfeiting their win at Las Vegas to begin the year. Taylor Mendenhall, their head coach, suspended for tonight's game and next week, and a volunteer assistant coach is suspended for a year. They also paid a $500 fine for violating unknown NSAA bylaws. So that was announced earlier today, but it has not affected the Patriots, who are up 58-0 near the first half in Kearney.
Wow. They might decide they might not need their head coach again. That's they might have went out west with a little bit of vengeance. That's a tough place to play, usually for Metro football teams. But wow.
So we'll have a delay here. They have not put 12 minutes up on the clock. Abdul Muhammad is waving at us. We are not running the clock, Abdul. That is next door. But it is, whenever we come to see Central, it's great to see Abdul. Compton, California, recruited by George Darlington. What a career, number 27 as a wingback. Tell kids today, hey, Nebraska used to have a position called the wingback. They don't know.
Right.
Used to have a tight ends that only caught 10 passes during their career, but had a nice career. Now people say, how come a tight end doesn't catch 10 in a game? But everybody was like Kelsey, Gronkowski, Kittle, Gates. Sorry.
Well, those tight ends might be a little bit better athletes than they were back in 1988, 89 too. But by the way, you talk about Abdul Muhammad. Ron Brown talks about it all the time, and I have to stay in touch with Ron. He talks about Abdul being maybe the toughest player he ever coached, and he coached some tough ones. There's a lot of stories about Abdul Muhammad and his ability to play the game of football.
So we have a little clock malfunction, but Abdul involved in the homegrown program, the Boys and Girls Club in North Omaha, and then has really gotten big into the 7-on-7. 7-on-7 has taken off in Nebraska. The Nebraska lead is something Abdul spearheads. But speaking of 7-on-7, Omaha North, they won the state 7-on-7 back in June. Now we have 12 on the clock. We're set to begin the third quarter. On the Cranston side, former Nebraska tight end. I'm Gary Sharp, not a former Nebraska tight end. Here from Siemens Stadium in downtown Omaha, week number 3. And here we go. Good kickoff. Richard will return it from the 15. And Richard is tripped up. Boy, good defensive or special teams play. Demarius Mumphrey came down and was able to trip up Richard. Look at the fine special teams tackle, which puts the ball at the 18-yard line. 13-13. As Cannon is back at quarterback, Yancey came in for the final series of the first half. The Vikings in the all-white with that familiar Viking helmet. Central in the all-purple. Cannon in the backfield. Elijah DeJeron, stiff arm, and he gains space, and now it's a foot race. Can he outrun Pittman? And Pittman slices him down. Pittman went low to tackle Cannon, and he brings him down, but not before Jaron Cannon with a 28-yard run.
Watch the stiff arm, Gary. Watch the stiff arm. I'm telling you what, if Bud Crawford lands something like that tomorrow, we're going to be pretty happy too. Oh, kind of missed it. He put that left arm out, put it right in the chest, and incredible strength on that play.
Closing speed by Pittman III, a 5-star safety, the class of 27, who's headed to Nebraska, announced his commitment recently. Highest rated recruit in state for Matt Rule. So there is a sideline warning on North after the play.
I think they might. I don't know if they called a penalty there or if they just gave a warning.
Oh, they gave him a warning, so it does not. Well,
I don't know what.
Now they have moved the yard markers. Now they're going back.
So it looks like what happened there was the sideline referee over there. I think he might have had a collision with one of the assistant coaches or one of the players along the sideline there. Contact was made, and that's an automatic 15-yard penalty.
So they never dropped the flag. That's what Larry Martin is contesting here. but it takes that long run by Cannon off the board and puts the ball back at the 27-yard line. So another 15-yard penalty is assessed in this game. Elijah Cannon at quarterback. The senior hands it off to Jerron Cannon. This time the sledding's a little bit tougher. Out across the 30 to the 31 for a pickup of 4. Cannon with a 69-yard touchdown run in the first half. Headed to Northwest Missouri State.
We saw a little bit of what he did. This makes him so special in that first play of the second half, where that stiff arm and then getting around the corner. And boy, he's a nice high school running back. I really like to watch him run.
There is news concerning North, not news today, but some great news for that fine school over off of Ames here in Omaha. Vital in the North Omaha community. They're getting their own stadium, 2027. And the pass is broken up, and Pittman's going to be called for a penalty. The pass was thrown in the air. It hung a bit for the wide receiver. Pittman closing, nailed the wide receiver, and they're going to call a personal foul on Torrey Pittman III. We got to look at a replay here.
I'm not very good at this, Gary, because I'm old and I'm a little old school, but you watch the safety come up, and I suppose he hits him high, and I suppose that's a penalty, and that shouldn't happen. I don't know the rules well enough, honestly, but he looked like he's going for the ball. He doesn't have the crown of his head down. He's just going up and making contact, and I don't really like this play very well, this call very well.
Wow, that is a 15-yard penalty on Pittman, who knocked Lewis down. And Terrence Mackey is all the way out on the field. They say it's a shot to the head. That's the call. Terrence Mackey is out on the hash marks right there. That's the head coach of Central. He is way out on the field arguing this call. They say the signal by Jim Pullman, shot to the head on Torrey Pittman III. It's a 15-yard penalty, and now they move the ball back or up ahead to the 46. So back-to-back 15-yard penalties on each side. And John Carter, statistician, is busy just racking up penalties, and Terrence Mackey pleading his case.
It might have been a situation where Pittman got his kind of hand caught up in the headgear as they were kind of going down, but they called it targeting, and I would probably disagree with that one.
Cannon to throw on first down. Now out of the pocket, and he is gobbled up. And on the sack, it's a combined sack. Aubrey Ross Jr. and Calix Pierce.
Very good coverage here. That was more of a coverage sack. It seemed like safety's playing deep, didn't let anybody behind him, and he was looking deep. Had to tuck the ball a little bit, and a nice job by the outside, the right side of the defensive line of Central to keep their containment and make that sack. And you know, Omaha North doesn't want to be second down and 15. They'd rather be a second down and 5, more comfortable in their offense.
This might be an opportunity to look for Darian Jones. Cannon looking that way, fires that way. Wide open is the wide receiver. It is caught, and this is going to be a touchdown. Oh my! 54 yards, that's wide open. Rier Washington. He's going to be called for spinning the football in the end zone, but they will not take the 6 off the board.
That's what you call busted coverage. They had twins over here on this side. Did a little look toward the outside. That safety bit, cornerback bit, and I'll tell you what, that was a nice throw. Nice. Watch the 3-step drop, just over the top.
And Jones was in the neighborhood, and I think that's who got all the attention. But Cannon finds Washington, touchdown Vikings.
Boy, if you're Omaha Central, you got to hate that. First of all, you hate the call on the targeting, but secondly, you hate busting the coverage and letting a player like that on a second down and 15 get behind you like that. That's unfortunate for their defense. But you know what? They were down. They gave up a big play early on in the first half and lost some momentum, and they came back, so they're going to have an opportunity to do that as well. Now, what you did see was you saw a penalty, spinning the ball, a little bit of celebration there in the end zone. So for this extra point, it's going to be brought back all the way to about the 18-yard line, and looks like they're going to run a play here. they still got the kicker out there.
Micah Valentine, who has yet to attempt a field goal, but all of us, nope, now they're going to pull him off the field. And because of the 15-yard penalty, Washington spun the ball in the end zone and drew the flag. So North is going to attempt a 2-point conversion 18 yards away from the end zone after the penalty. So they'll bring out their best. Todd O'Neill, first and goal from the 18 play. This is a 2-point conversion to the 54-yard touchdown pass from Cannon to Washington, and now a flag. North deciding if they're going to kick a field or a PAT or put guys on the field. There was confusion, and then a very much an undisciplined penalty. Central jumps offside.
Yeah, they were just lined up offside. And, getting ready to rush the obvious passing situation, they felt like, and they just lined up offside. And, boy, those things just make you scratch your head as a coaching staff. I know that it isn't coached that way, but that's unfortunate. But here comes a 2-point conversion.
Cannon to the end zone, and the 2-point conversion is unsuccessful. But North strikes first here in the second half on a 54-yard touchdown pass. Cannon to Washington. Vikes on top.
Hi, and welcome everyone watching at home. We're here to remind you that we have agents standing by right now to answer your legal questions. So if you've been injured in an accident that was not your fault, call now. Find out if you have a case and how much is potentially worth. I'm Gina Bellich here with spokesman and TV personality Tom Mustin. So Tom, tell everyone watching at home who should call right now.
Well, Gina, first off, thank you for having me here in the studio. Now, as far as who should call in, the answer is anyone who's been injured in an accident that was not your fault should give us a call right now. Agents are standing by to answer any questions you may have and tell you how much your case is potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. So what kind of calls are we seeing today?
Well, Gina, we're getting calls about all types of accidents, but the most common has been car accidents. So if you or someone you know were injured in an accident that was not your fault, take that first step and give us a call. We'll answer your questions and you'll find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. Call now.
Oh, beautiful downtown Omaha, the Gene Leahy Mall. Such a beautiful addition to downtown Omaha. Glad to have you along tonight. Game time on Your View, 1913, the Backyard Brawl. This rivalry game for supremacy in Omaha Public Schools.
You know, OPS gets a little bit of flack sometimes for student attendance and attendance for high school basketball games, high school football games. But boy, nobody can say anything negative about this. This has been a great crowd on both sides. Feels like a really, really nice community event. I hope that's the case. But great atmosphere, great participation from the students. You mentioned the Hawaiian night. You see that, a lot of participation. This is what high school sports should really be, no matter where you're at.
Shoulder to shoulder in the student section. Coming up later tonight, the smart call of the game and the player of the game. Boy, we're going to have some candidates for that player of the game. North now on top. Valentine will kick off. Short kickoff, dangerous. Grigsby takes it at the 16. Got a couple of touchdowns receiving tonight. And he's across the 30. Falls out to the 34-yard line. So penalties have also been the story. North has been penalized 5 times for 60 yards. Central 5 times for 70 yards. And here comes B.J. Newsom, his first time out here in the second half. And now they're down 6 after the 2-point conversion. And it does seem like pushed him back, couldn't kick the extra point. The pass was incomplete, so it's 19-13.
Sorry, Gary. It does seem like both teams have taken advantage of those penalties, though, when they have been given those 15 yards. It seems like every drive that's had a 15-yard penalty there has been finished with a touchdown.
Newsom's got a couple of touchdown passes tonight, 7 on the year. Rolls out, under pressure, screen, opposite way. Haney caught it. Nope, they're going to say it hit the ground first. So he tried to scoop it off the ground as Newsom was under pressure. There were 3 Vikings closing in on him. It'll be 2nd down and 10. But back to North. So there's all kinds of excitement in the North community. There's a lot of great things going on in the North community. But they're going to have their own stadium. They have played at Kinnick Stadium most recently, which is on the campus of Omaha Northwest High School. So Omaha Northwest, that is a bus ride for the band, for the cheerleaders, for the support staff, for the players. But they're building the stadium right there on campus, and it'll open in 2027. It's going to be such a great addition. Boy, it'll be fun, and I can tell you, we will make a trip there in 2027 when Omaha North opens up their stadium. Gene Haynes, the former principal, who is one of the best that has OPS has had an administrative role. He kind of spearheaded it. He has since retired, but it's going to be great for that school, and it'll be another nice addition for football in this area, as you have two teams sharing one stadium, and now almost everybody will have their own. Everybody will have their own stadium, and then you throw in the remodeling of Omaha Birdland Stadium.
I was just going to say, for the OPS football stadiums, it doesn't get much better than this venue here for watching high school football. With the backdrop, and our crew has done a great job of showing those pictures, and Larry Martin having his own stadium here. That's going to be a great thing for the Omaha community.
Richard had a cramping issue. He limps off to the sideline for Central. So it'll be 2nd down and 10 after the incomplete pass. 19-13 in favor of the Vikings. Omaha North 1-1. Lost to Westside, who's number 2 in Class A behind Millard South, and won last week by 6. Play action. Newsom under pressure. Rolling out. Fires downfield. It is caught. Oh, big hit. It's incomplete.
Shook loose. Big hit.
So the pass to Morgan Hills, and he was nailed from behind by Darian Jones.
Yeah, guess who? Here you're going to see it again. That's kind of his bailout, going to that right sideline right there. Looks like he has it, and then when he hits the ground, big hit to his back. When he hits the ground, the ball comes loose. Didn't complete the catch, so now you have 3rd down and 10.
Begin the second half. Central has elected to throw it twice, and this looks like another passing situation on 3rd down and 10. Central 2-0. They put up 92 points in their first 2 games. They've been held to 2 touchdowns here tonight. Newsom, empty backfield. Man in motion. That's Grigsby. Newsom now in motion because he's under pressure. On the run. Now keeps it. And he's going to go down shy of the 40. Max Clark was able to track him down from behind.
We haven't called Max Clark's name very often. What an impressive looking athlete. There you saw it right there, where you saw he was kind of in a spy, drop back, kind of almost in a spy position, and made a great play on the sideline, one-on-one tackle. And it looks like we've got a guy. Our guy got down a little bit. Felix is down. Got cut.
Everybody knows Felix is working on the side judge here. You're going to see Newsom with Clark. They roll into him and knock backwards. Felix is up. Oh, Felix is okay, man. Felix is as tough as they come. And so North holds Central on downs. And they force a punt. North scored on their opening possession. Now Jones is back deep. Jackson to punt it away. Boots it with the big right foot away from Jones. Now Jones comes up, collects it at the 31. Makes one man miss, makes another. Here comes Darian Jones, and he's hit from behind, but all the way to the 40-yard line in Central territory. That is a return of 29 for the fleet-footed future Iowa Hawkeye, whose brother Donovan is at Nebraska. He's going to Iowa City next year. Darian Jones.
The Vikings have done a nice job on the gunners out there. Hopefully you'll see that on the replay, but he has a lot of room to run over on the side. The gunner hasn't even come into the picture yet. Nice job of downfield blocking, letting Darian Jones do his thing there in the open field. You see him flagging the ball just a little bit, which we don't like, especially getting hit from behind, but explosive, athletic, strong. You win a lot of games with athletes like that on the field.
It seems like a huge possession on both sides.
Indeed.
North with the ball, they're up 6. Cannon cuts it back. Goodbye. Touchdown. 41-yard touchdown run. Jerron Cannon, second long touchdown run of the night. And North adds to their 6-point lead.
House, Hall, watch this outside zone. Pretty basic play, but so well blocked. Just running the outside zone there. Handoff in front. Sticks his foot in the ground. Only has to make one guy miss. Super block play by the Omaha North offensive line and perimeter receivers. And anytime you get that much room for him, it's going to be a house call.
And the PAT from Valentine is up. It is good. Cannon, second long touchdown run of the night, 69 and now 41. And the Vikings have doubled up the Eagles.
Hi, and welcome everyone watching at home. We're here to remind you that we have agents standing by right now to answer your legal questions. So if you've been injured in an accident that was not your fault, call now. Find out if you have a case and how much is potentially worth. I'm Gina Bellich, here with spokesman and TV personality Tom Mustin. So Tom, tell everyone watching at home who should call right now.
Well, Gina, first off, thank you for having me here in the studio. Now, as far as who should call in, the answer is anyone who's been injured in an accident that was not your fault should give us a call right now. Agents are standing by to answer any questions you may have and tell you how much your case is potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. So what kind of calls are we seeing today?
Well, Gina, we're getting calls about all types of accidents, but the most common has been car accidents. So if you or someone you know were injured in an accident that was not your fault, take that first step and give us a call. We'll answer your questions and you'll find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. Call now.
That is the First National Bank building. To your right is the Woodman Life building, and then behind the First National Bank building will be the tallest building in the Omaha cityscape, the Mutual of Omaha building. Beautiful night for football. We look right into downtown Omaha. And now Central is looking at a 13-point deficit. Deron Cannon, 41-yard touchdown run, 12 carries tonight, 166 yards, 2 scores.
Great call right before the touchdown. You said how it could be felt like a very important drive one way or the other, and it was an important play with a long play, burst of acceleration, touchdown, and now all of a sudden we have a 13-point game.
Kickoff bounce. It's a live ball. Picked up by the Eagles. Mumphrey. They'll start at the 23-yard line. Will that run by Cannon be our smart call of the game? That's what we call a tease. You have to stay tuned for later in the game. Now we will tune in and dial in to see what Central does here. This is the largest deficit they're staring at tonight. 2-0 on the year, North 1-1. They got to play Westside to begin the year, and they lost 58-27. Two times North has touched the ball in the third quarter. They've scored twice. Central, this is their second possession. They were forced to punt last time. Turn and hand it off to Haney, and Haney is going nowhere. That North defense has really started to bow up a bit. He's coming in from his linebacker spot. Dante Jimerson, senior linebacker, makes the tackle.
Watch Jimerson here on the plug. Played it, wide base, has outside leverage, tackled with his face up for a loss, and that's good linebacker play right there.
Newsome, who has been on the run most of the night. This time he's got a little time. He fires it out to the flat. Catch. Jones immediately is there to greet Morgan Hills, but it gives Newsome a little bit of room to operate now on third down. You get a look at the catch and then the tackle by Jones. He's had a big night defensively.
Another textbook tackle. Again, wide base, eyes up, makes a one-on-one tackle. Live to see another day here, right? So you don't make that tackle, it's a first down, but now it's third down and 2. And these short yardage running situations have not been easy for the Central Eagles tonight.
Donovan is a couple of years older than Darian, but both are exceptional tacklers, whether it be at North or, of course, Donovan, now in his second year in Nebraska, is one of the top cornerbacks. They bring the blitz. Newsome steps up on third down. Now, can he get it with the legs? He does. B.J. Newsome found a seam, knew where the first down marker was, and added a couple yards to it as the Eagles keep the drive alive.
Might have to take a play off here again as he lost his helmet on that scramble and that good individual play here. You see he felt the pressure and a little spin and got a little help from number 55, giving him a little push to that first down. But now, the last time this happened, he came out for a play. There was a bad snap and they lost some yardage there. But we have a penalty down now right here.
Tyrese Webster was the one who knocked the headgear off Newsome. And Jim Holman, our referee, calls a sideline penalty on Central. Terrence Mackey again had walked out on the field. He was wondering how did his quarterback lose his helmet, and it's going to cost Central 15 yards. Now, they dropped the flag. They call it a sideline warning. They didn't drop a flag on North, and they assessed 15 yards.
All right. First down.
So it remains first down and 10. Grigsby on the direct snap after Newsome had to go out of the game. Grigsby is not going to be able to get back to the line of scrimmage. Richard in there. Got a little help from Jaden Cannon as well.
Again, just a direct snap type of situation. Well, that's a nice play of defensive pursuit there by Big Fella. Big Fella making the play on the line of scrimmage. That's number 51 there, who used his hands well, taking on that block and then moved laterally. That was a very nice play.
It's Devin Cox, and it brings up second down and 10 for the Eagles. 26-13 here in the third. Week number 3, game time on your view. Back with you in a couple of weeks for Bennington and Gretna. Big showdown in B, and Newsome just had to get rid of it. Falls to the turf, and it'll be third down. This problem this time was James Harrington.
Yeah, there was pressure put on there. They blitzed outside linebacker and the right linebacker on the side. A little bit of a plug there. They didn't have enough blockers to pick him up. Guessed right, put pressure on him, and then because they saw it as a passing situation. So third down and 10 here for the Central Eagles.
Newsome, Harrington under pressure, and the ball is dropped. Newsome got it out, and he had to, because James Harrington, who just had a monster series, was there to try and haul down B.J. Newsome, who has lost his helmet again. You see the frustration on the 4-year starter at quarterback for Central as he trots off the field and the punting unit comes on.
Boy, you see the defensive coaches dialing up a whole bunch of pressure in that series, and they couldn't get him blocked. And you see he loses his helmet even before he hits the ground. That may need to tighten up that chin strap a little bit. But the defensive pressure of Omaha North made that series very successful. It would have been a fourth down punting situation.
Already 2 scores in the third for the Vikings. We're 13-13 at the break. Jackson to punt. Jones. And it's blocked partially. And there's a flag down.
Now, what we're wondering here is if they got a piece of the ball. I thought it was blocked as well. We don't have the privilege, or the referee doesn't have the privilege of replay, but I think he called the fact that they did not touch the football, and they called a roughing the kicker. I don't know about that. We'll have to see.
Jimerson came in to try and block it. We'll get a closer look. I don't know
if he did get it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if he got it. He overran it. Again, we talked about taking a bad angle on the punt rush. Instead of going for outside the foot, he kind of hit him in the knee, and he might not have touched that football. A lot of times the referee goes off the double sound as opposed to seeing it.
It looked like he got just a tick of the football, which would waive off the penalty, but they call a roughing the punter penalty, and that keeps the drive alive for Central. They mark off 15. One thing about tonight, we've had a lot of penalties. We've not had very many 5-yard penalties. Seems like every penalty tonight is a 15-yard variety.
They've got their money's worth on that deal, and that's a really huge. We'll see how this turns out in this drive, but that's a really huge play there because North is going to get the ball back.
Great opportunity for Central. B.J. Newsome back out at quarterback. Turns on the toss to Haney. Haney gets to the outside, and not much more. Great pursuit. Clark from the opposite side was able to track him down. Maxwell Clark, who's headed to South Dakota.
Yeah, that's pure speed there from Haney. You see there, he really didn't have a whole lot to work with there. He just outran that pursuit to get 4 yards there. You can see him take the pitch to the outside and just take off running. He grabbed his jersey on the way, but gained 4 yards just with pure athleticism.
Newsome rolls left, looks downfield, launches it deep down the field for Pittman the third, and it is incomplete.
Newsome had his choice of receivers there. He did the scramble drill. He had a guy about 15 yards wide open the sidelines to take the shot to Pittman, which never is a bad option. But you can see really had a chance here, couldn't quite get to it off his hands, and both of them probably want that one back.
So now it'll be 3rd down for the Eagles. Torrey Pittman III got an offer, play college football at the age of 14. He was running wild at Buffett Middle School.
I couldn't get an offer to go to homecoming dance at 14.
Got 18 different offers before he finally decided on Nebraska. USC, Penn State, Oregon, Tennessee. Decided to stay home. He's coming in a couple of years. Newsome pass caught. Flag down behind the plate. Grigsby makes a man miss. He's headed to the end zone. Touchdown, but this is coming back. It will be holding on Central. The Central sideline is livid. That will take a touchdown off the board.
It always kills me how the poor sideline official here on this side is getting chewed out by the entire staff, and he had nothing to do with the call. There's probably the right call here. We'll see this, we'll see the hold right there.
That's pretty clear. Great shot by our end zone camera.
Yeah.
That's probably one that the Central staff will go back and look on tape and they're like, that was right, because immediately as Grigsby was streaking to the end zone, they were erupting.
Yeah, that was a great camera work, fellas, on that one. Yeah, it was pretty well done, pretty easy to see. And again, penalty rears its ugly head to affect this football game.
So another 15-yard penalty. We talked in the pregame. That's what kind of has been the story. A lot of emotion. How will it be officiated?
The interesting thing is there hasn't been that many personal fouls and flare-ups. It's just been a lot of just kind of poor execution, bad plays that could cost them on big passes.
Yeah, we haven't seen any extracurricular stuff, knock on wood. Newsome under pressure, turns, fires it, near side, incomplete. And again, he had a streaking wide receiver. Ahead of the pack was Morgan Hills, and Newsome couldn't hook up with him, and they will be forced to punt.
Rolled left, had one-on-one coverage, and had a guy wide open. Number 10 just ran right by the defensive back. Unfortunately, they couldn't make the connection, but they got exactly what they wanted. Just couldn't make it happen.
So the penalty does not hurt the Vikings. And we'll see. Look at Jimerson on this punt attempt by Jackson. Jones is back. 26-13 North. Darnell Jackson, the punter. Snap. Kicks it away. Good punt. Away from Darian Jones, and it's going to roll inside of the 20, and it's going to go out of bounds at about the 16-yard line. Let's take a look at the smart call of the game, courtesy of Cox Mobile, the smart way to mobile. This is a good call by the North coaching staff. Put it in the midsection of number 5, Jerron Cannon. And Cannon goes 41 yards. Put the Vikings up 26-13. That is the Cox Mobile smart call of the game, the smart way to mobile. Just go to your phone. You might be watching us on your phone tonight. And we thank you wherever you might be, here in Omaha or across the country. Game time on your view. Our fantastic crew delivering you the sights and sounds, and hopefully we're making sense of those sights and sounds high above Siemens Stadium. Now the Vikings, who scored on both of their possessions. Cannon making sure everybody is set. Elijah Cannon, a quarterback. Turns, hands it off. And Valencia is stopped. Jerry Jackson Jr. was in there. Also DeAnthony Dial. You're up 26-13. How do you not become conservative here?
Well, the thing is they don't have to change their plan too much because they have been able to run the ball very well. They run that power play. You did see a little bit of inside pressure there, a little bit of a run plug there that Central did. Maybe they're betting they aren't going to throw the football a little bit. But if you're Omaha North, you're kind of doing what you're doing.
There's a pickup of a yard. Valencia dances out of the backfield. Now on the run, he's got blockers downfield. And he'll step out of bounds. Pick up of about 8 yards. Maybe a yard short. We can look at the replay.
When you can run the football, then that just leaves so many different things available for you. And that wasn't a real trick play. It was anything but a great play by 22. Valencia made a guy miss and then got to the outside.
Valencia last year as a freshman at Buena Vista ran for 370 yards. Some of those yards were right here in the stadium in the first round of the playoffs. Buena Vista beat Omaha Central. And after the year, transferred to Omaha Central. Jim Pullman signals up to the press box. The clock operator is reminded to wind the clock. And now North is going to take a timeout. 5:02 to go in the third quarter. As you get a look at Elijah Cannon, there's Jerron Cannon. Elijah the quarterback, Jerron the running back. They both have had a big night in a big rivalry game. Jerron Cannon would like to end his career without losing to Central. The next time we are with you, as you mentioned, a good Class B showdown. Bennington and Gretna in 2 weeks. Elkhorn North is the #1 team in B, followed by Norris, Waverly, Bennington, Gretna East, Gretna, Scottsbluff, Omaha, Scott, McCook, and Seward. Scott with a big game tonight against Plattsmouth. Also in A, if you're wondering, as we're in A tonight, Millard South West Side, Elkhorn South, Creighton Prep, who was up 17-10 at halftime against Southeast. North Central, Bellevue West, who got their first victory last night as they shut out the crosstown rival, Bellevue East. Lincoln Southeast, Papio South, and Kearney. Last check, Millard South was up 65-0 on Kearney. Third and 1. Cannon. First down and more. Can Pittman catch it? The track meet is on. Cannon pulls away. Touchdown. He goes 76 yards for the third long touchdown run of the night for Jerron Cannon.
Oh my goodness. You talked about a well-blocked play. Right out of the timeout, they said, we're going to do what we do and we're going to run power. We're going to put hand in the hands of our best running back behind our best blocker. Opened up that seam and there was nobody left. And the only doubt was whether or not Pittman could catch him there inside the 10, which he could not. You saw his breakaway speed as well. So lightning hits, and boy, it's a 32-13 game right now. You can see the dejection on the sidelines of the Central Eagles.
North has blitzed Central to begin the second half. 3 chunk plays, 3 trips to the purple shaded end zone, and Valentine is a PAT away from putting the Vikings up 20. Again, we have a clock issue. It says 4:52. We may have only a couple of minutes left. We're not really sure. It has been an adventure, to say the least. Snap back, hold, and Valentine. It was partially blocked by Mumphrey. So it'll remain 32-13. And look at Jerron Cannon once again.
Power set, big block right there by the lineman. Just ran by the linebackers. Couldn't even find him behind those big offensive linemen. You can see the speed there going down right down the middle of the field. It was really nice. This is Omaha North football at its best right there.
Jerron Cannon, 3 touchdown runs tonight.
And like we said, they didn't have to do anything in that drive different. We talked about maybe going conservative, but when you're handing the ball off to your running back behind that offensive line, they've had a lot of success. We'll check with our stats and see exactly how many rushing yards they have, but they have a bundle of them at this point.
Also in OPS, Larry Martin talking to Jim Coleman, the referee. Congratulations. Last week, Omaha Benson, which has struggled with some numbers. They had 30 out on the varsity roster, and they have a new head coach in Shaka Taylor. They snapped a 20-game losing streak. Last Friday, they won against fellow OPS school, Buena Vista, 21-6. So congratulations to the Benson Bunnies. Larry Martin, his team is up 32-13. They've touched the ball 3 times in the third, and they've scored 3 times in the third.
You see a nice coaching move by Terrence Mackey there. He kind of brought his entire group together at the 50-yard line. I'm sure he's telling them to, harness their emotions a little bit. There was a couple of helmets that went flying after that last offensive series that they had, and some frustration. You could sense it a little bit. So he's just trying to bridle some of those emotions. And, one of those things when you've been blitzed by those big plays is you get frustrated, you start pointing fingers at your teammates, and that isn't good for anybody. So it's an opportunity to learn a little bit from the Omaha Central crowd and Omaha Central staff in this situation.
Central, the highest they've been ranked in the preseason in a decade. Currently number 6. They got west side of the road at the end of the month, and then the beginning of October they take on Creighton Prep. So penalty assessed to North. Moves them back 15 yards. So Central is going to get some good field position here. Down 32-13, and they'll start in plus territory.
I didn't see the penalty, Gary. I was paying attention, I think, to the replays. We were talking about that, and I think there was a little bit of extracurricular. We saw Larry Martin talking to the white hat a little bit, and I think he was asking some questions too. But again,
I think we saw on camera he did the throat slash. He was asking, is that what he did?
I see.
So that was the 15-yard penalty.
Well, nonetheless, Central has the ball in plus territory here at about the 43, 44-yard line of Omaha North. And again, this is imperative for them to score here and score quickly.
So the clock should be running.
Sorry to chuckle.
Newsom, pass out of the backfield to Keith. All he needed was a seam. He stops, starts, moves forward, and then he's got a first down. We have not mentioned Caprice Keith, the Iowa State commit, much. He made an interception, a really nice one back in the first half, but on offense he hasn't touched the ball much, but they go to him, and he gets Central a first down as they mark the ball at the 35-yard line.
Saw some of the footwork and some of the quickness from him in the open field right there. Also, just get the ball out in the flat and let him do his thing. And a nice gain and first down for the Eagles.
They show blitz, handoff Haney. And there's going to be a flag thrown in the middle of the line of scrimmage as Haney is brought down on the play. He's brought down by Marquise McIntyre Daly.
Might have had a little bit of a grab on the face mask there as he was bouncing to the outside, it might look like. So this might go against the Viking defense.
It is a face mask call on the Vikings, and North moves closer to the end zone.
Just a quick one early on, right before our cameras got there. He had right in his bounce. He kind of raked across the front of it. I saw it live, but this is just what you're going to see it right there.
Now the penalty, 15-yard variety, puts the Eagles in the red zone. Newsom directing traffic. Flag is down in the area of holding. Newsom running around. And this pass is incomplete. Wanted Grigsby was wide open in the middle of the field, but Newsom was about out of gas. There is a plethora of flags down, and who's holding on Central.
See a little pressure here from North, and nose guard slips by the center, and he grabs him around the waist, and that's going to be a penalty in about every recess game and on the playground. That's going to be a penalty, and it is in this case as well. So again, the flags continue to fly.
Moves the ball back to the 29-yard line in a third quarter that will never end.
You have a curfew tonight?
I don't, but the clock has a mind of its own. We may literally be done with the third quarter, but we cannot because the clock, which sometimes runs and sometimes doesn't, says it's 4:14 remaining.
And it's been there for about 20 seconds.
Pop pass to Keith. Can he get to the outside? Caprice Keith is upended. Boy, he turned on the afterburners. And then Ryer Washington, who has a touchdown reception tonight, came up and was able to upend Caprice Keith.
Little push pass there, jet sweep action. Right there goes the outside. Might have had a little bit of hold there, but nice one-on-one tackle on the outside.
Second down, 15 for the Eagles. North and Central, non-district game, week number 3. Newsome fumbled the snap, picks it up, fires to the end zone, touchdown. He finds Caprice Keith. No flags. Touchdown stands. Nice pass. Newsome to Keith.
See a quarterback just making a play there, dropped the ball, but picked it up and kept his wits about him. And there you see Keith, who is an outstanding athlete, was very important as far as that drive was concerned. Got open. The safety fell down a little bit on a move, and he was wide open. Made a nice pass, nice catch, and big drive for the Eagles, as it was imperative that they scored in that drive.
It was right after, as you alluded to, Monty, the team meeting led by the head coach Terrence Mackey. An impressive drive, buoyed by some penalties, but Newsome completes it. A 24-yard touchdown pass. He threw a strike into the midsection of Keith. And the PAT is good. So we know how this works. Central's within 12. Here's the touchdown pass.
Big, tall, lanky receiver with good speed. And here you see the quarterback. Again, a bad snap, but again, picks it up and finds the right guy to throw it to right down the middle. And Keith makes a nice catch after the safety misplayed it a little bit. Kind of fell down, but credit to Omaha Central on that drive, as we've mentioned a couple different times, that it's been pretty easy just to pack it in and say, hey, we're done, this isn't our night. But now it's a 2-score game. The longest third quarter in the history of football we have 3 minutes left, apparently, in the third quarter.
Well, you think about it. I mean, the longer you stretch this game out, the better chance Central has to remain and try and make a comeback. But they're going to need to get a defensive stop, because North here in the third quarter, they touched the ball 3 times and they scored on 3 big plays.
And we've talked a lot about Omaha North, what they try to do to you as far as wear you down with their run game. And a lot of the shots, even last week against Papillion Vista South, a lot of shots they took were early in the game. Once it got to the second half, they said, you know what, we're going to do what we do and run the ball right at you. I don't think that's going to change. Now, maybe if you're Central, you're saying we're going to put as many guys up on line of scrimmage and make you complete a pass over the top of us. But, it'll be interesting. But Omaha North, with their running game, has just absolutely dominated this from the offensive side.
We feature the best of the Omaha Public Schools. Big thanks to all the folks here at Central for the hospitality, for yours truly and the entire crew. I do want to mention in the NFL, the OPS product had a heck of a debut in Atlanta. I'll tell you about that after kickoff. Richard. Oh, Richard. Out to the 37. But former Burke Bulldog, former Notre Dame Fighting Irish, Xavier Watts, the X-Man, his debut with the Atlanta Falcons. The only Falcon ever in your first game for the Falcons to have 5 or more tackles and 2 or more pass breakups. We knew he was good at Burke, state champion under Paul Lamanji. We knew he was really, really good at Notre Dame, and we expect the same in the NFL.
Coached and taught his dad, Jeff at Bellevue East back in the day. Kind of an incredible family with an incredible story there. And X is one of my favorite high school players in Nebraska ever. He's continued on at Notre Dame, and boy, he's an easy guy to root for.
So we have a clock situation again. Jim Pullman has come over to the sidelines.
I wonder if he's
trying to communicate.
Keep it himself.
You can see he's communicating with a member of the Central staff who is trying to communicate with the booth next to us. I guess, Monty, you could go next door and say, hey, I think the guy in the white hat is trying to talk to you, but we've had a lot of stoppages, and sometimes the clock has run, sometimes it hasn't. Sometimes it ran through a kickoff and a couple of plays, and now I'm going to decide. I'm going to reset the clock on what it's going to say. So we know it's 3. I can read. So just Jim, look at us. Look at us. Signal how much time is left, and then we'll go next door.
We'll go talk to him.
Jim, we're here. Jim, you're looking right at us.
Jim obviously doesn't trust you. He doesn't trust me. But I'm telling you, if he would, we could maybe get out of here before midnight. When do all the nice downtown restaurants close? Because I haven't ate yet.
All right, so...
Oh, they're showing the booth.
I won't tell you where the clock operator is seated, but he might have been in your picture.
That, as a clock operator, what do you not want? You don't want the TV camera on you during a timeout.
So they take 14 seconds off before we start this North series.
Sure.
Cannon bounces, looking, and fires it out of bounds. Jones was double covered downfield. That's who he was looking for. That'll be second down for the Vikings.
2 deep safeties for Central there.
There's a flag on the field across the way.
All right. 2 deep safeties for Central. Did a nice job playing center field, not letting anybody behind him. Had a little pressure up front and forced a throwaway, but unfortunately we have a penalty here, and our buddy's going to call a holding. This is going to be a defensive holding, though, unfortunately, for the guys in purple, and so that's going to be another big penalty.
So that is the first defensive holding penalty of the night. So if you were just joining us, North with a 32-20 lead. We have had big plays. We've either had a big play, we've either had a penalty, or we've had a stoppage to fix the clock. Am I missing anything?
No, that's kind of the stories of the night. But crowd's getting into it a little bit here. They're getting a little bit of Eagle support here.
First down after the penalty. Cannon on the run, looking downfield, keeps his head up instead. He'll run for it, and he gets hit out of bounds, and there goes a flag.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that one either. He was past the white on the green. Another guy gave him a little bit of extra, and there's going to be a 15-yard penalty. We need to kind of get him out of there safely. So
you have to be careful here, Monty, because the emotions, which there have been penalties, but there have not been the emotions that have gone over the line. Now, 32-20, it's hot. They're kind of starting to turn up, and the assistant coach for Central is okay as Cannon was pushed into him, and that is another 15-yard penalty.
And, we do talk about that a little bit. A lot of us would not like to see flags, but at the same time, you have to keep things under control, especially in situations like that over in the opposing bench. So you see Terrence Mackey is not real happy about the situation, getting given an earful, but at the same time, I think it's the right thing to do and the right call. And unfortunately, we just got to try to clean it up a little bit here. And, oh, by the way, there's 2:57 still left in the third quarter.
You might be able to hear in the background, we are situated between not only the clock operator but the coach's booth, and the Central coaching staff is irate on that call. Valencia on the carry, right up the middle, squeaks inside of the 35. 32-20, North leading Central is 13-13 at halftime.
If I'm North, I'm just thinking, if it's me, with that offensive line, that running attack, I'm thinking I'm going to try to chunk. A 4-yard gain is a good gain here. Get another 4 yards, get another 4 yards, and we've seen those open up on third down, the short situations. And I want to keep that clock moving, kind of maintain the control of this game using my offensive line, handing off to my running back.
Valencia remains in the game. Cannon, who's got 3 long touchdown runs tonight, is on the bench on this series. That's planned in the rotation. Yancey is in at quarterback, the running quarterback, and he's got a seam. He cuts it back. He's on his feet, and he's into the red zone. So they snuck Yancey into the game. He's the running threat more than Elijah Cannon. And Yancey weaves his way through purple traffic right next to the freeway in downtown Omaha, bumper to bumper. Found a lane, sped up like we all do when we're behind the wheel, and came to a stop in a collision at the 17-yard line.
What we have noticed, too, on these long drives by Omaha North is that front of Omaha Central gets a little tired, and they don't chase and they don't run quite as much as they were earlier in the drive, and that's where these big plays are coming from.
So here comes North. They're 3 for 3 on drives that have ended in the end zone here in the third quarter. Cannon is back in the game. Drawn Cannon. And he got tied up. Good defensive play because Cannon run the outside zone. If he gets to the outside, he might have another house call, but Elijah Middlebrook was able to slow him up, and then he was cleaned up by the rest of the Eagle defenders.
You see the bounce here, and a good job by 14 to keep him from getting all the way to the outside, and tough run, tough tackle, and good effort by the defensive end. And second down and 8, and so give yourself a chance. And there's some defensive substitutions that are coming in for the Central Eagles now, as this is offensive attack of Omaha North is more than down just a little bit.
Cannon is over 200 yards tonight. Valencia back in. Yancey remains in at quarterback. And he'll run. Quarterback power. And not much running room here. Maybe a pickup of 2. And now it's going to be third down.
Looks like they're going to have to run a play here. Looks like there's about a 3-second difference between the play clock and the game clock. So they are going to, I'm sure he'd really like to take a little bit of time here to decide what he's going to do on third down and long, but he's going to have to run a play.
Dominic Yancey, sophomore quarterback. That is a tired Central front seven. Final play of the third quarter, and it's been predominantly Vikings. Yancey fade to the corner, and pass interference. Jones got held up by Pittman. 2 future Big Ten stars. And Jim Pullman consulting with his side judge. They're going to call holding, not pass interference, holding.
Well, I think they were trying to press him on the outside. He had a step, and they grabbed him right before, and we thought it might have been a pass there. It could also be a pass interference, but he had him for quite a ways, so I think that's probably the right call over there. And now, yeah, you can see that we saw a scoreboard replay, but it looked like it was probably the right call. He was going to get beat on the fade and grabbed him at the line.
So we'll do another play here in the third quarter. Now it's first and goal. 7-yard line. Yancey turns, hands it off to Valencia, and he's caught from behind. That brings the end of the third quarter as Mumphrey makes a nice play. What a third for the Vikings. What a third for Jaron Cannon. Back for the fourth with the Vikings on top.
Heads up, the IRS is on the move. If you owe the IRS more than $10,000 in back taxes, revenue agents can now come directly to your home to collect. That means bank accounts, assets, and cash are all up for grabs. The time for waiting is over. StopIRSDebt.com can intercept these agents and stop collections fast. With thousands of 5-star reviews, we've helped low and high income taxpayers get protected and slash their tax debt. So if you're under audit, need your returns filed, or have an agent at your door, go to StopIRSDebt.com now to check for savings. Simply answer a few questions and you're done. With 87,000 new IRS agents on the move, don't roll the dice any longer. There are now generous options to resolve your tax debt, but you must act fast. Don't wait until it's too late. Go to StopIRSDebt.com now to check for savings.
Call 855-296-9016. That's 855-296-9016.
Attention timeshare owners. This is an urgent consumer alert from the Timeshare Exit Hotline, a national company specializing in helping consumers legally get out of their expensive timeshare contracts. We're offering you a way to legally get rid of your timeshare. So if you're fed up with the maintenance fees that keep on coming and want to learn if you can terminate your timeshare legally and permanently, call today. Call the number on your screen today. It's a free call.
Game Time on Your View is brought to you by the University of Nebraska at Omaha. At UNO, you're not just on campus, you're in a city full of opportunity. Visit unomaha.edu to explore. And Golf USA, as golf as it gets. And by Woodhouse, a partner in your everyday since 1975. Welcome back. We begin the fourth quarter at Siemens Stadium. 32-20. North trying to add to their lead after an explosive third quarter. Ron Cannon, 14 carries, 244 yards, 3 long touchdown runs.
Fullback alert.
The I formation. Warms you up, and the pass is caught. Touchdown. And the fullback, uncontested, into the end zone. 10-yard touchdown pass as Max Clark corrals it. He was the blocking fullback, ran straight ahead. Nobody put a hand on him. And North 4 for 4 here in the second half.
I think they probably could have done a lot of things during that drive to finish that one off, but that was a neat one. That was I like that special with run the I formation with your one of your toughest kids at fullback, and they think the I-back's going to get the ball. You just sneak him out. There wasn't anybody within 5 yards of him. So we're going to go for 2 here, it looks like. Spread to the right.
This to make it a 3-score game. Yancey in a quarterback, he threw the touchdown pass to Clark. And his 2-point conversion is not good. So it remains an 18-point lead for North, just beginning the fourth quarter.
Oh, it wasn't your fullback. It was your tight end that slipped out there. I was mistaken. So you ran your fake ISO and you stutter step blocked with your tight end, and you know how I should have been partial to that play anyway, because anytime you can sneak a tight end out, that's always a good thing. A blocking tight end.
There's Todd O'Neill, the offensive coordinator. He has been in his bag tonight. Running and throwing, variety on the play calls. And North, with their most impressive performance in this young season. They put up 38 on Central. They're up by 18. 4 seconds into the fourth quarter.
I always feel like the best play callers are the ones that have the best offensive line and running back. Isn't that amazing how that works that way?
And they, for the most part, whether it be Yancey or Cannon, they've kept them clean tonight.
Yeah, they have to be very pleased, if they can get through this last 12 minutes fairly clean of penalties and no injuries and no big turnovers and all those things. I think they have to be pretty pleased the way things have gone, especially the second half.
Michael Valentine to kick off for North. With a short kickoff. Returnable. And more. And McDonald takes it into North territory.
Can't lose outside leverage on these cats. I mean, they can run. And I'll tell you what, right now that you watch on this leverage here, just straight down the field, and you see guys get sucked in. And I'll tell you what, that's an athlete that can run, and they can hurt you real quick. And now again, they're in positive territory, going the other direction. There's things to work on from the special team side of things. Stay in your lane, keep your discipline throughout the entire game, even though you're up 18.
Now we'll see the sense of urgency under Newsom here, and there's still plenty of time to go. 11:49 in the fourth. And Central rally. Remember, opening night, they were down at Bellevue West, 17 with 8:08 to go, and they won. Newsom fumbles the snap, picks it up. Now he fires it down the field for Grigsby! Just out of his reach. Boy, great quickness by Newsom. Fumbled it, picked it up, and then that strong arm. Grigsby had a step on the defender, but they couldn't hook up, and it'll be second down and 10.
Yeah, and heaven forbid, don't let the fastest guy on their team get behind you. I'll tell you that. You playing defensive back there, and you see number 2 running free, and that probably made the defensive coordinator from Omaha North put a big lump in his throat right there, reminding them that score and time is important.
Newsom to throw. Up to the backside. Now he's on the run. He's chased. And he'll keep it, and he's got a first down, and there is a flag down. So during the run by Newsom, a flag came out.
Looks like a holding there. Got around the outside, and once again along the perimeter there, got to going, and just got to let a guy go. Let a guy go, and
that is our 19th combined penalty tonight.
Ouch.
This one will cost North or excuse me, Central, the long Newsome run. And they'll move the ball back into Central territory.
I'm telling you, Gary, if you just have enough discipline on the outside, you know, he was going to gain yards one way or the other. It wasn't like he got around the outside because of that block. But you just have to have enough discipline to not grab on once you start losing that guy. And that's a coaching point that needs to be emphasized here in the next week, because they have an explosive offense, but it's hard to overcome this many penalties. Looks like we have a timeout by the defensive staff now.
It's also, considering it is very, very muggy 2.5 hours into this game. We're back to Siemens Stadium after this.
Hi, and welcome everyone watching at home. We're here to remind you that we have agents standing by right now to answer your legal questions. So if you've been injured in an accident that was not your fault, call now. Find out if you have a case and how much is potentially worth. I'm Gina Bellich here with spokesman and TV personality Tom Mustin. So Tom, tell everyone watching at home who should call right now.
Well, Gina, first off, thank you for having me here in the studio. Now, as far as who should call in, the answer is anyone who's been injured in an accident that was not your fault should give us a call right now. Agents are standing by to answer any questions you may have and tell you how much your case is potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. So what kind of calls are we seeing today?
Well, Gina, we're getting calls about all types of accidents, but the most common has been car accidents. So if you or someone you know were injured in an accident that was not your fault, take that first step and give us a call. We'll answer your questions and you'll find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. Call now.
So the penalty will make it 2nd down and 14 for Central. 19 penalties have been called in the game. North 8 for 115, Central 11 for over 120 yards. Newsome pump fake, steps up, fires it downfield, caught by Keith inside of the 30.
Nice throw. Step forward, threw a bullet over the middle. That was a well-thrown ball.
It has been fun to watch B.J. Newsome in his development, because I saw him as a freshman. He's a 4-year starter. He's always had the mobility, the arm. He's really showing it off in the last year and a half, and that was a strike to Keith. Very similar to the touchdown pass that he threw back in the 3rd quarter to Keith. So here comes Central, down 18. Newsome to throw, out into the flat, into space to Keith. And Keith immediately goes down. As he was hit by Washington. Now you see a little bit of yapping going on as we reach the 4th quarter. Another look here, Newsome pitch and catch with Keith. Really good tackling team North is.
Yeah, good fundamentals. They block well, they tackle well. There's no secret to success under Larry Martin. You know, that's what he's prided himself on, with toughness and blocking and tackling, and that wins a lot of football games in high school and college.
And another flag. It's going to be a false start on Central.
I don't know if we've had one of those yet, Gary, so we needed. How's your bingo card doing for penalties?
It is full up. What do they call it? The dabber? You know, like the old school mom and dad when they would go to play bingo, and you grew up in a Catholic household, so went to Catholic school, and bingo night was like every Thursday in the parish hall. I think they're called the dabber.
Yeah,
I think they're called the dabber. And you know, some of us that couldn't afford a dabber money, like the Sharps, we would have pieces of corn.
Really?
Yeah.
That's kind of sad.
Oh, we were from Iowa. Newsome rolls out. Now he's being chased, and he is brought down. Central would like a penalty, but Marquise McIntyre Daly, out of the gas, chasing after Newsome, finally brought him down from the back.
There isn't a horse collar when they grab in the back of the jersey, I don't think. So I think that's what they were looking for. You see big old 14 here, grabs the jersey and pulls him down.
Yeah, he actually got him. Good job. He got him on the shoulder to tug him down.
Yeah, so I think that call might have been just being down 20 to 38.
Not enough for a first down. So this is 3rd down. Oops. 3-step drop, step up, miscommunication, and incomplete in the end zone. The wide receiver stopped their route. Newsome thought it was a fly pattern to the end zone, and miscommunication, fortunately for Central, does not result in an interception in the end zone. So they'll get a 4th down. It'll be 4th down and 8, down 18.
think probably the receiver thought it was zone and went ahead and hooked up at the 11 yards for a first down, or just past the yardage. And I think quarterback saw it as a man-to-man and decided to throw the fade. So they'll get that worked out eventually, I bet.
Central needs at least 8 yards to keep this drive alive. Newsome running out of the pocket, looking downfield, fires it downfield, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Keith. Pass was a little off the mark, and Central will turn the ball over on downs.
Newsome's not afraid to make a play. He's got some great legs. He gets out in the open here. He get a hand on it, and he just can't put the kind of accuracy on that pass they needed to find his receiver. And again, looking for Keith over there on the sidelines, and couldn't do it. And now Omaha North's going to take the football over, and I would assume we'd see a heavy dose of handoffs here. I've been wrong once or twice.
Elijah Cannon will come in at quarterback. Have to run that clock, which has 9:27 on it. Up 38-20. North, number 5 in the Omaha World Herald Class A rankings at 1-1. Omaha Central, number 6 at 2-0. Cannon and Cannon. Fumbled snap, and all Elijah can do is turn and fall on it back at the 18-yard line.
Looked like he took his eyes off a little bit. Looked like a quarterback run game, a little sweep left there. Took his eyes off of it and cost himself. But the good news is the clock's running if you're the Vikings. But see the snap here. It looks like it was a little bit to the left and a little bit lack concentration there from the center.
One thing to keep an eye on here, and this is communicated by the North sideline, is they do not want to be snapping the ball when there are double figures on the play clock.
Good chance to work on your clock management here. These are things that early in the season that Larry talked about how they're going to be better by the middle of the season. Something to work on.
Little touch pass, and that is a big pickup for Richard. Again, the variety of Todd O'Neill. That should be a first down.
Nope, I think he had, because of the fumbled snap, I think he had a little bit longer.
My bad. I was looking at the wrong yard marker. Thank you.
Yeah, they lost quite a few yards on that bad snap, but still give themselves a chance. And again, the clock's moving. And to your point, there's 22 seconds on the play clock. You just kind of take your time here, and they're looking over. It's a good teaching moment. Take your time going to the line. Maybe when it gets underneath 8, 7, 6 seconds, then you can snap the ball. No hurry here.
Cannon to throw. Now steps up. If he wants to run, he's got space, and he's on the run. And then he's down. And guess what? There is a flag down. In on the tackle for Central, Middlebrook. I mentioned his name quite a bit tonight.
Good initial rush there by the Eagle defense in front side, and scrambled him out of the pocket. And then once again, kind of lose your guy and have to grab onto him and cost your team 10 yards.
Look again at the 26th year head coach, Larry Martin, for Omaha North. He's got former players on his staff. So Jim Pullman has come over to the sidelines. There is another clock issue. Okay, 7-5-0.
You can see that. You want to go over there and tell?
Well, we need to add 10 seconds to the clock. There we go. We did. Well, we did.
Hey, don't give us credit or to give us some blame on this deal.
On your view, we run the clock correctly. So
Jim's hasn't had the best night in the world. He's not. He's thinking. So you want to be a high school white hat, huh?
This is a tough assignment. There's a lot of emotion in this game. Yeah, they added 10 seconds. The thing, they do not have a 10 o'clock curfew at the stadium. They have to turn out the lights for the neighbors. They have a residence hall right next to the stadium, an apartment living. And Yancey is sacked in the backfield by Mumphrey.
Yeah, nice play by Mumphrey here. Great use of his hands on the outside. Saw that roll out to his side and did that whole shock drill up against the lineman. Little shock, shed, outside. That's a nice defensive football play.
If you're not familiar with Omaha Central, you've not been downtown, we are directly across 480 from the Creighton campus. So if you're familiar with where the Creighton campus is, you just go across 480 and we are the stadium that is lit up tonight, Siemens Stadium. Kind of see in the background the cars on 480 driving by. And North set the punt, but it is going to be a delay of game. They don't have much room to go after the sack. They're back on the 8-yard line. There's the residence hall. That's a great view. Watch the game.
Oh, yeah. I noticed that when I came in the stadium. I did my laps before the game, and I looked over there, and there was I didn't know exactly if it was apartments or residents or whatever. You can actually see some TVs going on there.
Yeah, they've got us on, so, turn your lights on, turn them off, blink it a little bit, let us know that you're watching Game Time on Your View tonight. Hey, thank you. Here's the punt. One of the rare ones tonight by North. Keith will retrieve it at the 41 of North, and Caprice Keith has some space, has some blockers, and he's to the 26-yard line.
He's been their best player the second half, that is for sure. You can see his athleticism, see what he did at Bellevue West last year, transferred this year to Central, and that guy's he's special.
So we still have a lot of time to go in this game. So if you're going to make a comeback and you have the legs and the arm of B.J. Newsom, you've got a chance. Down 38-20, they've got ideal field position, tick under 7 minutes to go.
It is interesting where it's been kind of that game where you thought, oh, it's really over, but you're absolutely right. 18 points in this amount of time is not that much.
Newsom to throw, pass, broken up. Boy, he wanted Pittman in the third, streaking to the end zone, but he did not see Washington, who cut across and swatted the ball away.
Pretty well thrown ball if there's not a safety sitting there in the middle. The timing is right. Had Pittman, but that safety was reading the eyes and did a really nice job breaking on the ball and knocking it off. Here you go. See right there. Here comes the safety.
Yeah.
Nice play.
Very few people in the ballpark saw him, but look at that arm strike by Newsom. So they're thinking about getting into the purple paradise here at Siemens Stadium, down 38-20. Newsom, but before, might shock you here, Monty, there are whistles because the referee was actually on the sidelines when the snap occurred, which I can tell you in all the years that I've been doing these games on Friday nights, I have never seen that. There is a timeout taken. So Jim Pullman was on the sidelines talking to Terrence Mackey. None of his crew saw that he was not in his regular position behind the quarterback. They let the play begin, and I think it was Jim Pullman who whistled the play dead.
He did.
Wow. Monty, aren't you glad you have your first taste of a North Central game?
Well, I'm having a better night than Jim is. I'll tell you that right now.
Jim wants to talk to us.
Yeah, he's...
Who knows how much time should be on the clock?
I don't know if anybody cares. I think that if he would say, let's put this on there, I think nobody would argue with him, would he?
I hope Jim tomorrow can just kick back and watch some college football. I hope he's not working, a small college game or a junior college game. I hope he gets tomorrow off because he's going to need it. He has been one busy white hat tonight. So he's in position. The ball has been placed down. And it's second down and 10. Newsom. Fade to the end zone for Keith. Just out of the end zone. Now it'll be third down and 10. North has done a great job tonight containing Haney, and it forced Newsom to throw a lot, maybe a little bit more than Central was anticipating coming into this game.
And that's been the difference in the game is the ability to run the football. We talk about it all the time in college. We talk it all the time in high school. If you can run the football or you can stop the run, you know, you have a great chance of winning the football game. And that's what Omaha North has done because Haney's a good running back. We've seen flashes of him, but they've kept him pretty much under control. And that's been a big part of their success.
And guess what? We have a penalty. A delay of game penalty on Central. That'd probably be the best way, Monty, to describe this. Little affair of flags. Yeah, if you were a Big Bang Theory fan, Sheldon had fun with flags. Newsome trying to have fun with the pass to the end zone. And he couldn't connect with the speedy Grigsby, who's done it twice tonight in the end zone. And Jay Newsome walks over to the sidelines. We look around. There are no flags.
So Big Bang Theory reference.
Okay,
huh?
so
Like it.
Big Bang Theory. And I bet you never thought that we would sneak this into the broadcast tonight. But you know what? It's been the longest second half we can recall. So in Big Bang Theory, there's a character named Sheldon.
Sure.
And Sheldon has a segment periodically called Fun with Flags. Flags from around the world. We are not having fun with the flags here tonight, and they are not from around the world. They're out of the pockets or the belt buckle of our officials.
They are bright yellow.
4th down.
Holding.
Newsome's pass is incomplete. And North will get the football.
Well, you did see certainly Central decided that they don't have the ability to run the football anymore, right? So it's like we're going to try to throw the ball. You saw the deep passes, and kudos to Omaha North for covering the fast guys and doing a good job with their discipline of staying deep and being in position, staying on their hip. And so that's really the only way the Central thinks they can score right now is they've got 3 really great athletes. Just throw the ball up to them, let them make a play. But unable to do that, you can see the crowd deciding that might be the last straw for Central as far as its offensive chances to score.
Well, we said that last time North had the ball. If they would sit on the ball, they didn't run much off the clock.
They had that bad snap, which got them behind the chains.
Yancey is in at quarterback, the sophomore. Hands it off to Cannon. He's over 200 yards tonight. He's now over 250. And he's got a first down.
Tell you what, running backs like when I do games. I'll tell you that. I saw our friend
Jaden Sutko last week for Elkhorn South went for 304.
So if I'm a running backs coach, I could call up Monty and I say, hey, can you come do our game? Because I think there might be some mojo there. Or they're just really good running backs with good blockers.
Now North is in no hurry. Why not? They're up 18. They've been explosive here in the second half. Scored 25 of the 38 points. Cannon delayed handoff right up the middle. Just keep the clock moving. He picks up 4.
Yeah, that's exactly what that North offense wants to do right now is hand the ball off, keep the clock moving. But unfortunately, they don't want to get anybody hurt. Looks like
there is
lower body injury here.
An injured Viking. More from Siemens Stadium after this.
Hi, and welcome everyone watching at home. We're here to remind you that we have agents standing by right now to answer your legal questions. So if you've been injured in an accident that was not your fault, call now. Find out if you have a case and how much is potentially worth. I'm Gina Bellich here with spokesman and TV personality Tom Mustin. So Tom, tell everyone watching at home who should call right now.
Well, Gina, first off, thank you for having me here in the studio. Now, as far as who should call in, the answer is anyone who's been injured in an accident that was not your fault should give us a call right now. Agents are standing by to answer any questions you may have and tell you how much your case is potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. So what kind of calls are we seeing today?
Well, Gina, we're getting calls about all types of accidents, but the most common has been car accidents. So if you or someone you know were injured in an accident that was not your fault, take that first step and give us a call. We'll answer your questions, and you'll find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. Call now.
Davius Brown is helped up, and he'll head to the sidelines. #1 team in Class A, and everybody wonders who can break the stranglehold of Millard South and Omaha West Side. Millard South wins tonight at Kearney, 72-0.
And Brandon Coole's Kearney Bearcats have Larry Martin's Omaha North Vikings next week, so not a big chance to rebound.
Cannon, but Yancey pulls it out, and Yancey's got a first down. And he was down. The ball popped out after he somersaulted into the field turf. Cannon tonight, 16 carries, 261 yards, 3 scores. Clock continues to march on. Mark the ball back at the 41. Jim Coleman's trying to get the clock to start. Finally it does. Now I have to reset the play clock.
Jim's becoming a little bit more
demonstrative.
You know what?
We didn't have a camera on Jim right there, but popular with the kids out there. At least that's what I've been told by Brad Pace, who is in tight with the 18 to 23-year-olds in the pop culture. He says what Jim just did was raising the roof.
Good to know. Good.
Yancey at quarterback. Little end around with a pop pass to Jones. He hopped, skipped, and jumped over an eagle or two. And there is a flag down.
Probably an illegal block. Oh, here we go.
Okay, here's Jim. Look at that. That is perfect. Yeah, you remember that move, Monty? When you were trying to pump the crowd up at Memorial Stadium, you raised the roof back there in the late 80s.
Oh, yeah, I remember that well. That was right with the wave. We did the wave. We started the wave then.
Well,
I thought you were talking about the mean streets of Brady. Maybe that's where Brady's street dance. Maybe we were raising a lot of roofs.
I'm really surprised everything that's happened in this game tonight. We've not had the wave. Might be a little bit tough with high school. Everybody's not rooting for the same team.
Yeah.
Great crowd on hand, but a lot of people have gone to the exits. This second half has turned into a slog. Many, 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 many flags. This one is on North. Now 5:05 to go. Jim wants the clock to start. Raises the roof with one hand. And we hit the 5-minute mark. We still have a post-game show, so don't go anywhere, everybody. 38-20 in favor of the Vikings. And Yancey is in no hurry to snap the ball. You're going to let that play clock wind all the way down. This is a smart move by the sophomore. Now 5 on it. Snap, handoff, Cannon. Boy, one thing I like about Jerron Cannon is he has got the hesitation, great vision, the stopping and the starting. When he stops and then he starts it back up, he is like 0 to 60 like that.
He's got that nice little spin move into contact too. He hits contact and he has that nice under control spin and gets him a little extra, falls forward. He might be a guy that you might think might take out of this game this last 4 minutes. He's done his due diligence to get him ready for the Kearney Bearcats next week.
Central takes a timeout, and this is basically treated as a water break timeout. They have an exhausted bunch of defenders. As North looks like they are on their way to continuing this win streak over their rival. They have not lost to Central since 2015. And they did have a 3-year hiatus. Jerron Cannon's going to finish his career in the regular season. The regular season unbeaten. So despite on the field, the Central fans, cheerleaders, they've all had a good night. Hard to believe we're already through 3 weeks of the high school football season. We've got 6 more to go.
It always goes so fast.
Not as fast as this game has gone in the third quarter and now the fourth quarter. Trust me, there are others that share the center. Now Yancey's under center. Turns Cannon. Uh-oh. Cannon is gone. Jerron Cannon, a 41-yard touchdown run. That is 4 big-time touchdown runs for Canada tonight. And for the second straight week on Game Time, we have a 300-yard rusher.
And that is a push. That is an offensive line touchdown right there. Canada saw the opening, obviously, but a huge opening. And what a night for that offensive line from Omaha North. Larry has to be very, very pleased with the way they've handled the ball, the way they've taken care of business up front.
And the PAT is no good. So it is 44-20. And here is the touchdown, the 4th of the night for John Cannon.
Yeah, young man should have a smile on his face. He does. Nice night for him. Get a little water. Should get a break this next time. Shouldn't see him anymore until next week. He's earned some rest as that a lot of these guys from Omaha North. Really nice night for Omaha North. For Omaha Central, one of those things where you just got to learn from, right? When you learn that you've got to become more disciplined in blocking. You learn that you better be able to run the football against a good football team. And they have enough athletes. They're going to get everybody in trouble. They can win any game that they're in just with their athletics and their explosiveness. But you guys got to not make mistakes. You got to be disciplined in your blocking. You got to be disciplined in your defensive assignments, and they'll learn from it. A good teaching opportunity, and hopefully, it's better to happen in week 3 than it is later in the season. Build on it.
Cannon with 312 yards rushing. Last week, Cannon in the win over Papio South, 219 yards rushing. So we've got 6 touchdowns in the last 2 weeks.
Anytime your kickoff team is doing the YMCA during the break, I think that means that you're having some success.
As we near the 3-hour mark for this game, we still have 4:11 to go.
We got some Husker football duties tomorrow.
To watch Houston Christian, 11 a.m. It'll be here. We're going to lead right into it.
Hope we get you down there in time.
Nebraska and Houston Christian wrap up the non-con for the Huskers. Trying to get to 3-0 on the heels of a 68-0 win over Akron. And the ball is loose, and the ball is free, and the ball is picked up. Cannot be advanced in the end zone. But what a hit. Dislodges the football. North has it.
Oh, boy. There's a pretty good example of catch it and don't nonchalant pick it up where you can get hit pretty good. We'll see the replay on that, and it looks like it was 21 maybe. Ooh. Boy. That's going to leave a mark.
Kind of the story of the second half for Central.
Yep.
And now North up 24. Still 4:03 to go. Timeout taken by Omaha North. So North trying to figure out. North was trying to figure out their personnel. They're up 24, and I think Larry Martin wants to get as many guys in the game as possible.
Sure.
So there's our former colleague, John Schreiner. Tonight on the radio broadcast of this one. A chance to catch up with John before the game. 44-20 after the fumble recovery by North. Yancey comes in at quarterback.
I-formation alert, I'll always say it.
They ran this in this area last possession. Valencia with a good hard run all the way down to the 10-yard line. So North is going to go to 2-1. And Central will suffer the first loss of the season.
Yep, and like I said, you learn a lot about yourself. Omaha North has not had an easy schedule. Obviously, they opened up with Omaha West Side and kind of got it taken to them a little bit, and then played a very physical, talented with this the South team and then Central. So they've had three big ones, 3 good ones, and I think that Larry likes it that way. I think he's thinking that they've gotten better each week, and I like the way they're trending. He likes the way they're trending.
Yancey under center, sophomore quarterback, turns, hands it on to Valencia. Skips to the outside, cuts it back, took a hit, got to the 5, and Wrestler gets 5.
See that balance you mentioned about running backs that wrestle and how much advantage they have. There's not too many of them that do that, but you can certainly tell the ones that do, the way they keep their balance, the way they can take a hit, low center of gravity, leverage, all those things that wrestling teaches you.
So the clock running on your screen. We are at 2:50 and counting. 44-20. John Cannon, 312 yards rushing, 4 touchdowns. Valencia, straight ahead, touchdown.
Offensive line touchdown. Power formation, ISO, good surge, good block by the lead blocker. Touchdown, and that's the epitome of the Omaha North ground game tonight. Just too strong, too powerful, too tough for Central, at least tonight.
So Omaha North has put up 50 on Central. They put up 37 of those here in the second half. And the PAT is up, and it is good.
We're going to have some offensive numbers here at our postgame show. We'll talk a little bit about the yardage and yardage rushing and individual performances and outstanding performance. I know you don't like to talk gambling but I think that overs are hit.
Larry Martin has taken off the headset, and there is Tyson Terry there in your picture. Yeah, so Tyson Terry, 3-time All-State lineman, 4-time state wrestling champion, unbeaten.
Showing his ring.
Yeah, so he's back tonight. He is redshirting this year, yet he played on his high school football career ended early last year. He tore a ligament in his knee. He elected not to have surgery, wrestled the entire year, retired as a wrestler down just across the way at the CHI Health Center, won his 4th straight state championship in the 215-pound class, left his shoes in the middle of the mat, went and had surgery. Now he's at Nebraska and he's rehabbing. We can't wait to see Tyson Terry playing defensive line at Nebraska. We'll see Darian Jones, who was just in your picture. We'll see him in Iowa next year. You'll see his brother Donovan, who played here at North, had a nice career.
Donovan with the black shirt this week, correct?
Starting cornerback for Nebraska. So another loose ball corralled by Central.
You heard Teddy Persoskas talk about being injured at Nebraska. You know, being injured is a tough thing, but they do things the right way. They keep people involved. He talked about the support that he received. He's faced 3 big-time injuries, but I know you can tell the Terry kid is pretty happy. He's doing well, is rehabbing well, and he's going to be a force down the road. He's a nice football player.
So Central is going to have to take a timeout. They were not prepared for the personnel on the field. So a frustrating night for Central. They got off to a 2-0 start. They knew what they were up against tonight. And I think Larry Martin, he kind of told us, Monty, before the game, still trying to figure this team out. Have a couple of stern discussions post-practice with my team. We'll see what we got tonight. Well, they got another North Viking football team that is explosive. They run the ball, they stop the run, they're physical, and they're up 51-20 with 2:23 to go in the game.
And Larry joked about it a little bit, but it is true. He calls himself an old school guy. He said, I gotta learn how to handle these kids in social media, and that's a very real thing. Kids that are on their phones a lot, they're either told how good they are, or they hear about what they should be doing, and all those things. You hear a lot of coaches in high school and college talk about that. He mentioned that in the pregame.
Newsom is still out there, and they run the ball with Austin Lathan, his first carry of the night. Stay tuned on the postgame show. We'll put a wrap on this one, share some final thoughts, and we also have our player of the game. Might already be pretty obvious on that one. So Newsom has been the quarterback the whole way for Central. He really has not had many snaps tonight to pass where he hasn't been under pressure. Throws it out to the flat. Good pitch and catch. That's going to be a first down.
You mentioned it before. You've seen him develop over the years, and he certainly has great feet. He can extend plays with his feet. He's made some good throws, but again, in high school football and college football, you better be able to run the ball, take a little bit of pressure off your passing game, and that's where they've fell short tonight.
Catch by Lathan. Now 90 seconds to go. And the win streak for North over the rival Central will continue. Lathan was tripped up as he tried to break it. Gets a yard in on the tackle. Isaac Rhodes, senior linebacker for North. North has had the opportunity here to play nearly everyone that got on the bus at 30th and Ames and made their way over to Siemens Stadium. Now under a minute to go. It was 13-13 at halftime. Newsom turns, fires to the flat. It is caught by Grigsby, spinning like a top. Still on his feet, finally goes down. That is one tough three-sport athlete. You see Grigsby, that you got Courtney and Deontay. And Grigsby had 2 early touchdowns from the right arm of B.J. Newsom, but we haven't heard his name or mentioned his name much since then.
Bruce Chubbuck, who was the halftime guest before he came up here, he was on his way up here, and he brought up that point. He said, "Boy, Grigsby, the things that he does on the basketball floor, he's not a very tall kid at all, but the windmill dunks and all those things that he can do, special athlete."
And that is it. What an impressive performance tonight by Omaha North. 51, Omaha Central 20. The postgame show is next.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, you may face many hard questions. What will tomorrow bring? Which firm should I choose to represent me and my family? We've become the largest injury firm in the world because we've won a lot. Our firm has recovered billions and billions and billions. Over 30% of our new clients are referred by former clients. That says it all. Our results and client satisfaction, that's how we became the largest injury firm in the world. When you call Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm, your very own army springs into action immediately to fight to get you the best result as quickly and easily as possible. If you or anyone in your family has been injured in a car accident, call us now, as the time to file a claim may be limited. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Call 800-589-0055. That's 800-589-0055.
Do you have difficulty hearing your TV? Or have trouble hearing conversations? Then you would benefit from Nano hearing aids. Other hearing aids are expensive and cost thousands of dollars. But if you call now, you can get 2 Nano CIC rechargeable OTC hearing aids for less than $1 a day. Don't be fooled by overpriced hearing aids ever again. The Nano CIC rechargeable hearing aid is a true hearing aid, not an amplifier. And they offer superior noise reduction and a tiny in-the-ear design that is nearly invisible. And best of all, they are incredibly affordable. Call now and get 2 Nano CIC rechargeable OTC hearing aids for less than $1 a day. Plus, get a free charging dock and your shipping is always free. But that's not all. Order now and get 1 year of elite protection with loss and theft coverage absolutely free. That's a $79 value, yours free. And all Nano hearing aids come with a 45-day money-back guarantee.
Call 1-800-390-1322. That's 1-800-390-1322.
Attention timeshare owners. This is an urgent consumer alert from the Timeshare Exit Hotline, a national company specializing in helping consumers legally get out of their expensive timeshare contracts. We're offering you a way to legally get rid of your timeshare. So if you're fed up with the maintenance fees that keep on coming and want to learn if you can terminate your timeshare legally and permanently, call today. Call the number on your screen today. It's a free call.
Lots of stars tonight, 534 yards of total offense for North, 395 on the ground. And that guy right there, Jerron Cannon, the senior running back, nearly had all of them. He had 312. He is our player of the game, Monty.
Absolutely. You see, he showed the whole package tonight. He showed the stop and start. He showed the speed down the middle of the field. He broke tackles. He gave stiff arms. He got to the outside, got in the open field, and there wasn't a whole lot that he didn't do tonight. There's no doubt he's player of the game, and really, really nice high school running back.
Player of the game brought to you by Roll-Off Construction, 100% employee-owned, 51-20, North over Central. Final thoughts coming up after this.
Hi, and welcome everyone watching at home. We're here to remind you that we have agents standing by right now to answer your legal questions. So if you've been injured in an accident that was not your fault, call now. Find out if you have a case and how much is potentially worth. I'm Gina Bellich, here with spokesman and TV personality Tom Mustin. So Tom, tell everyone watching at home who should call right now.
Well, Gina, first off, thank you for having me here in the studio. Now, as far as who should call in, the answer is anyone who's been injured in an accident that was not your fault should give us a call right now. Agents are standing by to answer any questions you may have and tell you how much your case is potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. So what kind of calls are we seeing today?
Well, Gina, we're getting calls about all types of accidents, but the most common has been car accidents. So if you or someone you know were injured in an accident that was not your fault, take that first step and give us a call. We'll answer your questions and you'll find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. Call now.
Thinking about retirement? Would you like to have retirement income that you can count on for the rest of your life? How about up to 33% more income? Call this number to get this free book, Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers. This book is filled with valuable information, uncovering little-known secrets to help you maximize your income in retirement. And it's free. Retirement income you can count on starts by calling for this free book. As a bonus, we'll also rush this annuity rate report, also absolutely free. Annuity National researched numerous products and summarized the rates and benefits of annuities from foremost insurance companies like Nassau Life and Annuity. Call for both these free books, Annuity National, retirement income you can count on for the rest of your life. Call now.
For your free books, call 800-793-7995. That's 800-793-7995. 800-793-7995.
Darian Jones, a backflip. A la his old heads, Ozzie Smith. More backflips, and why not? What an impressive performance tonight, Monty. 51-20 over Omaha Central.
If you're coaching high school or college football, what you want to be is the most physical team. You want to be able to run the football. You want to be able to stop the run. And that's exactly what Omaha North did. Omaha Central has some exciting players. They have some playmakers, and they can do a lot of things. But they just got manhandled tonight. They'll learn from it. They'll get better. Omaha North's a good high school football team that will continue to get better as well.
Impressive performance by North. It was 13-13 at the break, and they win going away to improve to 2-1. Central drops to 2-1 as well. We're back with you. Take a couple of weeks off. We'll be back with you in 2 weeks, and that's going to be a dandy in Class B, Bennington at Gretna. For our entire crew that delivered the great shots from downtown Omaha tonight, for our director, Brad Pace, our statistician, John Connor, for my partner, Monty Kratzenstein, I'm Gary Sharp. Again, the final score tonight, Drawn Cannon, 312 yards rushing, 4 scores, and North defeats Central 51-20 from Siemens Stadium in downtown Omaha. Good night, everybody.
We welcome you back. You're getting to know the 23rd edition of the Perfect Game All-American Classic. Top to bottom, the rosters. That was the West, now the East, and we can't understand it without the views of great scouts like Vinny Servino, one of the main men behind all of our college content and those that are going to come dominate in college play in this game as well. Vinny, thanks for being with us. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, Sutton. You know I love talking players.
Yeah, I do, and you're very, very good at it. So as we share the East roster, here we go, here it comes. A lot of great names, people looking for their names of people they've seen play or those that they love and care about. Now that folks are looking at those names, why don't you guide us with some of your thoughts on that East roster?
Yeah, it's a very athletic group. There's a lot of athleticism on both sides of the ball here when you're talking about pitchers, infielders, outfielders. A lot of guys that have a chance to go, very high in next year's draft. Some players that we've seen for a long time, too. Guys that are ranked in the top of the class, super athletic profiles is kind of what we're looking for in terms of the athletes in this class, guys that can really do things that other guys really can't.
I'm going off script a little bit. I've been guided here, but as I look at this roster, sorry for all our leaders, producers, and editors, I see 3, maybe 4 uncommitted players. We never used to see that when you see guys like, Javorsky Lane Jr., Jacob Lombard. These are players that will help themselves by even playing in this game. This is unique, isn't it?
Yeah, we're kind of seeing the landscape of the pre-college commitments shift a little bit. And Javorsky Lane and Jacob Lombard, those are 2 of the top-ranked players in the class before the summer even started. So top of the class guys really kind of keeping their options open as they head into their senior falls.
Yeah, I love that. Obviously thinking they may get drafted as well. I'm going to give you a few names, just now 2 since I went off script. Matt Ponatoski. He's from Archbishop Moeller in Ohio. He's going to Kentucky to be the starting quarterback someday and to also play middle infield. Great name. Miller Sheets. Brewers fans, you remember Ben Sheets? This is his son, Miller Sheets. He's not a pitcher. He's a shortstop. Now those are a couple of names. And thanks for allowing me to go off script. You have to in this game. I don't know that I needed a script at all when I had a conversation with Nate Davis. All there is to understand is he's well beyond his years. His ability to play, certainly, I'll let Vinny talk about that in just a moment, but the maturity, the gifts that he possesses, one of the favorites I've had all year long. And here it is, Nathaniel Davis.
So kid goes to a camp at LSU and decides to take it on. That's you. What happens? What's the story?
So I get to camp around my freshman year going on where it was kind of getting out of that COVID year, so they had a lot of recruiting going on. I remember I was just trying to get into that whole recruiting process. So I went to LSU camp and I was hitting good. I was doing my outfield drills good, and I was as well showing off my speed. And coach really took a liking into me. They've just been loyal to me ever since, and I've just been working on my game and getting better. So they saw my improvements and they decided to offer me and give me an official visit, and I committed to them.
Below the surface, what appeals to you about LSU?
Seeing people like me that go to that school as well, being African-American, Hispanic, different, cultures there, and that they all come together to surround, sports in the athletic world. So, that's a really big differential that I really loved a lot about LSU.
Being an African-American baseball player, you have been extended an invitation for quite a few Breakthrough Series events. What's that experience been like?
So it was my first year going through, the Breakthrough Series program, and I've been to, of course, Dream Series, getting able to see Hunter Green and players like that are at that big league level.
Did you get to go to Hunter's house?
Yeah.
What did you learn that night with Hunter Green?
that there's a lot of work to be done and a lot of dedication that you have to put into this sport to really go to the next level. I mean, he's worked very hard, and seeing how his work ethic took him far, I mean, it really implies to all of us African-American players that someone that we can look up to admire him as like our idol. And just seeing like all his cars and houses, like, I mean, you're given a gift and you just have to work at it every single day.
What do you think they see in you, they meaning the experts? What do you think they see in you to make you a top 10 baseball player?
I'm a 5-tool player. I can hit a bomb over the field to one pitch and then bunt on you the next pitch and beat you out down that first base line. So, I mean, tools like that, throwing hard from the outfield, I mean, having that speed aspect, speed is big for me. So whether it's stealing a bag or, you know, making a diving play or covering a lot of ground in the outfield, all those tools add up for me in my game, which allows me to be the top 10 player in this class. And I'm really grateful that my work ethic is something that's really paying off for them to see when I come out here and play these games and show them what I have.
Why are you so thoughtful? Why? Why do you think you are?
It's mainly my parents. I mean, being with my great-grandparents, me growing up with them, and then me being adopted by, you know, my auntie and uncle, and just them being in my life all my life, I just looked up to them as my mom and dad. So they just been raising me ever since and just taught me everything of what it takes to be a young man and what it feels like to walk with God every single day. So they're the reason why I work hard every single day, and they really instilled that in me, that anything you can do is possible. And my dad has an MBA, 2 degrees, 2 master's degrees. And